Welcome to episode 13, Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier. Then we got Mr. Sammy Whitaker behind the scenes, doing all the effects and things for us. Sammy, we appreciate you being here and always doing this for us. I always got to call out my boy Sammy. Guys, we are nearing the postseason. We're nearing the end. We're nearing the end. We're getting there. Yep. So, hey, we haven't done the recap since we've been back from Christmas break. You know, we've had some things come up, had to congratulate people, but today we are going to do the recap. We're going to recap these games for you. But before we get into that, first off, I have to congratulate the Whitesburg Yellow Jackets, Coach Brian Howard, who was here on a show back in December. Yes. And that team, many of you at home, a lot of you from Whitesburg will know, but many of you won't. That team holds a special place in my heart. That team was one of the first teams I ever coached. Yeah. And so Mason Boggs, all them guys, those are good kids.
Had an amazing game.
Great ball players, man. They worked their tails off, so couldn't be more proud of them and the accomplishments they've been able to make, and hopefully they go to the state tournament next week and make some noise. Yep. And also congratulations to the Cowan Bulldogs for getting runner-up, Arlie Boggs for winning the consolation, and Letcher making it to Sunday. And although they fell in the consolation, they still got
forward.
Go
back and see when was the last time Arlie Boggs was even in a consolation game.
That's what me and Danny was talking about before the game. Is like, when was the last time Arlie Boggs played on Sunday? Right. So that was.
For them to have a season like they had this year, kudos to them.
Yeah, hats off to them. Their coaching staff is great people, man. Yes. They've always been good to us. And it's in middle school, it's like a coaching family. When you're playing against each other, it's war. But after the game, you're hugging and loving and whatever. Just cool as can be. So, and always giving out advice. So hats off to everybody who competed in this tournament. Yes. I had from D team all the way up through A team, and we can't wait for next year.
Nope.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and run down this recap real quick. We've got, first up, girls basketball, Johnson Central at Martin, and this may shock a lot of people. 55-51 Johnson, Coach. Did you expect that game to be that close?
Johnson is a very good team, but so is Martin. Martin, like I said last week, Martin is on the rise, and that's why they're at my top. They're in my top three. These are two teams that are in my top three. I knew it was going to be a good game. But surprises me a little bit that it wasn't a double-digit affair. Yeah,
me too. I was shocked. I thought, I know Martin would keep it close, but I didn't think he'd keep it that close.
Right, kudos to them.
We had Prestonsburg at Phelps. Prestonsburg took it 71-37. Yep. Shelby Valley at Betsy Lane. Betsy Lane took it 67-57. That may put some, which I don't know. I don't remember your list, but that may put some damper on your list.
Yeah,
Betsy Lane was 7 or 8 last week, and Shelby Valley was in the top 5. Yep. So that's something to watch out for later in the show. So then we've got Harlan County at Knott County. Knott took it 62-44. Breathitt County at Owsley. Owsley took it 64-30. Yep. Jenkins at Eastridge. Eastridge took it 50-47. But the Cavaliers put up a good fight there.
They did. Coach Whitaker was on the show last week, and he told us about that game that they had previous, here in Jenkins. And he told me that they're ready to go out and fight against him because he thought that they should have got it the first time. And to see this score, obviously they did go out and fight. Yeah, they come out on top,
Yeah, sometimes you go out and you give all you got and you fall short. As a coach, that's happened to me and a couple of my teams numerous times. Yeah. Listen, basketball's a long season.
It is.
A lot of games, a long season, and anything can happen, especially in a one-game setting. Yeah. People don't understand how hard and how high-pressured tournaments are from grade school to high school. I mean, when you're in a one-game setting, it's high-pressured, gym's packed, it's insane. But then we've got Lawrence County at Pikeville. Pikeville took it 63-45. Yep. Painesville at Shelby Valley. Painesville took it 60-52. Mm-hmm. Hazard at Perry. Perry took it 73-60. Phelps at Belfry. Belfry took it 66-34. You and Big E picked Phelps. Any shock there?
There isn't necessarily a shock because I come to find out last week after the show that Belfry brought on a few more players that they haven't had all season, and it's really uplifted their program to have them back on the team.
Yeah.
And, since they've been back, Belfry has been getting wins. They wasn't winning all season. I think they only had a record of 3 wins and a bunch of losses, and now they're kind of evening the score out a little bit.
Yeah, so they're playing good ball.
They're playing very good ball. It doesn't shock me. Phelps is definitely they've had a bumpy road with these other experienced teams, and for them to be such a young team, I still give congrats out to them.
Yeah, which we'll have the Lady Hornets and Coach Justin
yeah.
McCoy here in a little bit to interview, so you guys will definitely want to stick around for that.
Yes.
But let's get through these games. We have, and the last one, Letcher at Harlan County. Harlan County took it 45-42. Wow, that's a good game.
That is a good game.
Good game.
And, Letcher has a very good team under Keith Baker.
Yeah.
And I really thought that LCC would have came out on top with this one.
Most definitely. Guys, we're going to take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, we will have the boys recap. And then, after the boys recap, we will have the Phelps Lady Hornets here to interview a couple of their players. And then later on, we've got Coach Justin McCoy. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to stick around. We'll be back with you in just a second.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Welcome back, Coach's Corner. Guys, we're going to recap the boys really fast, Coach. We're going to go through this as quick as we can, okay? We had Shelby Valley at Pike Central. Pike Central took it in overtime 77-64.
Yep.
We had Floyd Central at Letcher that got rescheduled. Don't have a score for it. Hazard at Breathitt. Hazard took it 68-61. Paintsville at Prestonsburg. Paintsville took it 85-79. Harlan County at Pikeville. This is one we're going to talk about later, but Pikeville took it. Last second shot, 62-60.
Wow.
Which we'll get to that game later on. And then we got Powell County at Breathitt, another overtime game. Breathitt took it 80-77.
How about the Hazard Perry?
Do what?
The Hazard Perry.
Oh, yeah, Hazard at Perry. Hazard only beat them by 3.
Wow.
57-54.
Yeah, man.
Then Jenkins at Owsley. Owsley took it 58-56, which was another game on a buzzer beater. That's crazy. Wolf at Knott. Knott took it 72-56.
Yep.
Prestonsburg at Floyd. Floyd took it 107-83. That was another shocker.
Yeah, that raised my
Johnson at Paintsville. Johnson took it 48-47. Letcher at Perry. 47-34. Coach, any shocks real quick?
Listen, I've actually got 2 shocks. One of them is definitely that Prestonsburg and Floyd Central game.
Yeah.
I mean, Floyd Central they've kind of been on the decline here recently, and then for them to come and smack a team like Prestonsburg in the mouth like that, maybe they've gained their confidence back and they're ready to show everybody what they can do in the 15th region. Another one that really shocks me is definitely that Pikeville and Harlan County game. I mean, wow.
Yeah, which we'll get to that later.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later.
blows my mind.
With that being said, guys, when we come back, we're going to have a Phelps Lady Hornet here to interview. We're going to take a quick minute break. When we come back, we'll have everything ready, set, and go. We'll catch you in just a minute.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're all for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia, the 2021 Kia Sorento, only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, and then we have a very special guest, Callie McCoy. Thank you for being here. Callie McCoy.
Callie McCoy, yes.
I'm working, guys. I'm working on it, okay? It's my fault. Okay, let's dive on into this. So you're averaging 19.4 points per game this season, which is leading your team. Talk a little bit about your game and how much it has improved from last year to this year.
I think my game has improved from last year to this year. This year I've been trying to work on defense, and I've got to the hole more this year too. And I think I need to rebound more too from last year, and I think I've done better at that too.
Yeah, that's great. And did you average this many last year too?
No.
So you're scoring with that too, and
scoring average.
That's great.
Getting better at defense. Learning how to drive the basketball, that's good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And you still got years you're what, sophomore?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, to average
Years to
19.4
improve.
points per game as a sophomore, that's great.
That's very great.
Okay, so we're looking, you not only lead the team in points, but you also lead the team in field goal percentage, shooting 42.8% from the field.
Wow.
Take us through some of the shot selections you have in games and how you have been able to maintain these numbers throughout this season.
Well, I mostly like to drive and get fouled and put on the foul line.
Okay, sweet.
And then when I'm open, if I'm open on a three, I shoot it.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Let it fly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
3-pointers are great. Unless you play on my team, then we shoot like 40 a game and only 3 go in. That's when threes get bad, okay?
Yeah.
Driving the 3-point lines drove me crazy this year.
Yeah, the 3-point line, we're going to take that out of our
Okay, so I've got one more question for you, then I'll let Coach Sam take over. So, we're halfway through the year, and everyone's preparing for a postseason push. Talk a little bit about what it's going to take from you and your teammates to make a run at a district championship?
I think this year we need, if we want to win district, we got to have confidence in each other and work together as a team. And we can't just have two people scoring all the time. And we got to make shots too.
Yeah.
Now, I do got to ask you, how many times a day do you and your dad fight?
A lot.
A lot. That's what I figured.
Especially during basketball.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And I would say you win most of those arguments, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'm going to come in with a fun one. Who's your favorite college basketball team? It can be men's or women's or both, either one. And tell me a little bit about why.
Kentucky. I just always loved Kentucky, watching them play.
Yeah, me too. You know, what about that game last night? Did that hurt you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kills me. I hate losing to Tennessee more than anything. Golly. It's all right. Louisville lost too, so.
No, Louisville actually won, which we'll get to that later.
Wow.
We'll get to that later.
Wow. All right. Out of your years in basketball, what player would you say was the toughest that you've had to defend?
Probably toughest I've had to defend.
It could be a teammate too.
The girl from Pike Central's good. I don't know if you had to guard her, but she's good. Yeah, she's good.
I
She's a good
guarded her
one.
this year recently, and she's really good.
Yeah, she's a good little ball player. Which I'd say having to practice with Weddington over here,
Yeah.
she's tough to defend too.
Yeah.
So you've had to
If you
defend
get up on her too far, she'll drive right past you.
Yeah.
right past you. So
That makes you
Stay
better
away
on
from her,
defense.
She'll shoot right in your face.
most
There you
definitely.
go. That makes you a better defensive player, though, don't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. With the way that you play, I love this question, by the way. With the way that you play, who would you say you resemble or try to play like out on the court?
Well, probably Caitlin Clark, because I love watching her play.
Absolutely.
That's a
Everybody
great
likes
answer.
Caitlin Clark. Everybody likes Caitlin Clark. She's a beast. She averages the most points for her team as well. So
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's a great answer. Well, we greatly appreciate you being here, guys. When we come back, we will have one of her teammates here to interview as well. So we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you. If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Burgee, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier. And just to make sure I got this right, we got a special guest, Kylie Weddington, right? Kylie, I got it right this time.
Right.
Let's go. Yes.
Let's go.
Yes,
Give them a round of
finally.
applause, everybody.
Okay, now listen, I'm going to dive on into this, okay? So you're averaging 13.6 points per game, 7.4 rebounds per game this season, and that's pretty good numbers, right? And you're just, what, junior?
Yeah.
So that's really good numbers.
good.
Let's talk about your game and how much you've improved from last year to this year.
A little bit about how I've improved from last year to this year is my ball handling and my rebound. Rebound's really improved.
Most
So
definitely.
fundamental stuff more than anything.
Do you ever have to play one-on-one with your brother?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
that-
yeah, that's where
I
you're
actually
doing.
did that last night.
Yeah.
For
Did
anybody,
you? That's good.
For anybody that doesn't know who her brother is, her brother
Everybody
is Kylie
knows who her
Weddington.
brother is.
Yeah, I
for
mean, just
sure.
saying,
Like,
just
the
saying
name
if they
Weddington
don't.
is all over the 15th
Yeah.
region right now. So, No, so you lead your team in free throw percentage too, right? You're shooting 72% from the line, and you go to the line pretty a lot, so right? So talk a little bit about how free throws play into your game, and how you're able to get to the line as much as you do.
I'm able to get to the line as much as I do because I'm like the primary ball handler.
Yeah.
So like I get fouled a lot more.
You get fouled a lot more, and then when you get there, it's like you're just not nervous, right? You're like, I'm gonna knock these in, automatic.
Well, it's a free throw for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's a free shot,
I don't know. Some players, listen, I got some players that cannot make it. Like,
let's not even talk about it.
I have one kid on the season. I'm not lying. We did our stats for every year at the end of middle school season. I do my stats for every player. I had one kid go 4 for 24 from the free throw line.
Oh my.
It was awful. It was awful. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to embarrass him, but it was awful. He shot the lowest percentage on the team. But okay,
For
look
sure.
at. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked her a minute ago. We're halfway through the year, and everybody's preparing for postseason. What's it going to take from you and your teammates to win a district championship this season?
I think what it's going to take is all of our team just getting dedicated and show up and get real focused.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And it's hard at small schools, right? I mean, I'm in a small school, and you know, you ain't got the numbers that these bigger schools have, so it really takes everybody.
Absolutely.
Coach?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you something different from Callie.
Callie.
See, I about messed up
He
with
messed up.
Callie. Yeah. Tell me what a pregame looks like for you. Like when you wake up in the morning, get out of the bed. Tell me what your routine is that day going into a game.
My pregame routine is just like make sure I have a good meal before I go, and then I just put my headphones in, listen to music most of the time.
There you go. Yeah.
What kind of music you
Focused on
like?
the
Yeah,
game.
let's hear it.
Country music.
That's what
That's
I'm talking
it,
about.
yeah.
We like some country
Yeah,
over here.
I
Some
like country too.
bumpkins. All right, so out of your years in playing basketball, what player would you say was the toughest you've had to guard? Tell me a little bit about why.
The toughest I've had to guard ever is probably Katie Ball from Belford.
Okay, yeah.
Because she's 6'5", and I was only 5'5".
Yeah.
I had to chase her.
Yeah, that's a
my
foot
eighth grade
difference.
year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a tough matchup, especially for somebody that's a foot taller than you. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna throw this one in there as well. You know, I just asked your teammate, who's your favorite college basketball team, and tell me a little bit about why on that.
My favorite college basketball team is UK too.
Let's go.
Yeah.
2 for 2, baby. L's down. L's down, son.
I'm a huge Louisville fan.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
huge.
can't you tell by the cheeks?
Die hard. I bleed red just like everybody else. So
That's horrible, man. Horrible. All right, last one. I love this. I love this question. I love hearing the answers from everybody. With the way that you play, who would you say your game resembles?
My game probably resembles Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
that's a
I
great
love
answer.
that.
I don't think we've heard that one yet.
No, I have not heard that one.
Yeah,
I love that so much.
That's
It's
a
go
great
getter.
answer.
I love that. That's a great
That's
answer.
a great
I
answer.
love that.
Well, we greatly appreciate you being here. Guys, when we come back, we're going to have Coach McCoy, and I promise you I will not take it easy on McCoy. I took it easy on his players, but I will not take it easy on him. I'm putting him on the spot right here on Coach's Corners. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
This is where it all started. Right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, and very special guest, Coach Justin McCoy. Coach, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome, guys. Glad to be back.
Yeah, and just a reminder, our first ever show, when we were still down on the court. We were still on the court. This guy was right here, first episode, and so we greatly appreciate you coming back.
We'll always remember that.
Guys, let's dive on into this. So you came into this season with one of the youngest teams in the 15th region. You know, speak a little bit about how this season has gone for you and some of the challenges that you've had to face as their coach.
We started out, we'd done summer stuff and we was playing good. We started out, great. Yeah. Really best start we could have. I think we started out 8-0.
Yeah.
You did, man.
Playing really good, and then, they get satisfied. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then you start getting into the tough part of your schedule, playing, some of the best teams in the region. And then you get smacked down a little bit, and then I think it's hurt some of their confidence. You know what I mean? It's got in their head, but I think we're going to be all right. We're young and it's good. Yeah. When I made the schedule, I knew we was going to have these tough games. I already knew it. That's why I did it. It's the only way you're going to get better. Play the best.
Absolutely.
And then see what you got to do to get better. And hopefully one day we can get to that level where those teams are.
Most definitely.
Through the ups and downs this season, speak on some of the strategies that you've had to use to keep your players motivated with this long season.
Mostly, just trying to make them pay attention, in practice, trying to, talking to them, and, you try to pump them up a little bit. But girls is so much different than boys, I coached boys for years, and, when I moved from boys to girls, it was a big change.
Oh, yeah.
You
can't just scream at them.
No, you can't. Girls, you get in their feelings, you know what I mean? Girls will cry, they'll cry on you, Boys, they don't care. They'll take it and go on. But no, I've just tried to, have talk with them, and especially here lately, we've had a couple bad losses, and we've been playing down part, not where we should be,
Yeah.
And so I've got onto them a lot. We've actually picked it up in practice. We're running more. We got to get ourselves ready for the last stretch. So I just mostly try to motivate them.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your junior, Kylie Weddington. We just interviewed her a minute ago. As Ethen said, she's averaging 13 and 7. Speak a little bit on Kylie's game and what kind of impact and leadership she brings to the table for your team.
Well, Kylie, she brings a lot,
Yeah.
When she came over last year, played with us, it was huge. I mean, she's a ball handler. She's our point guard. Callie had to do a lot, before she came. It was very stressful.
Right.
So now we got her, and she stepped in. She handles the ball. She's a leader. She goes hard as anybody I've got. Probably goes harder in a game than any kid I've got. If you watch film or watch us play. Yeah. She's leading the team in rebounds.
Yeah.
As a guard.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, she just gets after it, and and she takes coaching. She don't pout. She don't get mad. Her mom and dad, they push her like I push my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her dad and mom helps me coach, and she gets no slack. But she's a super good leader, and she has changed our team. If we didn't have her, we didn't win 16 games last year.
Yeah.
If we didn't have her, we've not got 12 wins this year.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she just means that much. You know how it is to have a guard that can
Most definitely,
hold the pressure and slow it down. You know what I mean? Makes a huge difference.
It does.
How speaking on her for a minute before I move on to the next question is like these stats aren't on KHSAA, but how many assists do you think as a point guard she averages a game?
Oh, I'd say she averages. I mean, we keep up. When I watch film, I usually keep up with it, and she's always averaging anywhere from 5 to 6.
Yeah,
wow. You know what I mean?
That's great.
And like I said, she's their second leading scorer, so she's doing a lot of scoring. And but no, she's a player that we got to have if we want to ever compete for a district title.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. Well, Coach, you're sitting at 12-8, and you started off really hot, but,
Yes.
you've had some very impressive wins, some tough losses.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about how this season has gone in your eyes, and also how you plan to take these ups and downs to prepare for the postseason.
Yeah, well, like you said, we started out hot. I think everybody, the momentum was up.
Yeah.
The girls wanted to be there. They were playing for each other, playing hard. Well, you get up, you win 8 games, and you think, man, this is easy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. We're winning.
Yeah.
Well, practices start taking off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not missing, but not going as hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to do this drill harder. Heck, we're 8-0.
Yeah.
Well, then we start getting into the Martin counties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get into the Betsy Lanes and all these teams. Belfry, Pike Central.
Yeah.
And they don't understand. You got to go just as hard. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
preparing for them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's been a rough one because it started out great, everything was smooth sailing. Now it's been tough. I've had to change some things at practice. I've had to get more.
Yeah.
I've had to get onto them. And I've had we've had a heart to heart. It's time for that heart to heart. You know what I mean? When you get to the
Yes.
middle of the season, you start losing. Everybody starts getting down because this and that, and girls, it's tough.
Yeah.
And I had to pull them in, and I told them, girls, hey, you're in the mid-season. We're getting ready for a push. Now we're going to get after it. If you don't want to get after it, then you don't need to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, so we've had a lot of talks like that, and I just want my girls to be, everybody on the team's got to be all in to reach your goal.
They do.
If you've got 1 or 2 that's not, that's going to rub off on 3 or 4, and it's going 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like our season, we'll get it turned. I mean, we'll be all right.
I have 100%.
And I promise you right now, and I will say this: I know we went to Belfry, and I know they beat us. Okay, it was 30 points, whatever, but we missed 25 shots in the first half. All right, I mean we could not throw it in the ocean. Mm-hmm. And Kylie had 2 points, made 2 foul shots.
Yeah.
And she never, you know what I mean? Callie missed so many shots, and it's not going to be that way come tournament time. You know what I mean? Well, I promise you will be ready. But like I said, you've got to take this. You got to see what teams it's got. You know what I mean? Then that's when it comes to us coaches. We got to prepare. But I think we'll be prepared for the tournament. I really do.
And the best part too is that Super. I'm so excited.
I'm
to
excited,
watch
and I
that Super
still
Region
don't. And I
play
still
out,
don't
man.
figure out how is that going to work. How does that work?
Nobody.
From
really
what
knows.
I've been now, this
I don't know.
I
Nobody
talked to
really
a
knows.
couple referees, and from what I've been told is the winner of the districts advance
Go to the go to the expo.
expo, and then everybody else is playing for spots in the expo.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's what I've been told by
now,
ref
so
officials.
what I heard everybody goes.
Right.
Okay, but say we lose out in our district, we're 3rd place. So who do we go play to try to get to the?
I think
how's
they
the
draw
seeding
2s.
work?
I think they're
they
going to
draw?
draw 2s. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The 2s will play the 3s, and they'll draw.
Okay.
That's that's how the refs explained to me. I had a couple 15th region refs here during the middle school tournament.
Okay.
We were just talking.
That'd be good, Ian.
You actually just almost answered this question, but I'm gonna go ahead and go through with it. You just had a huge district matchup with Belfry Lady Pirates.
Yes.
Take us through that game and how it went in your mind, and just seeing what happened out there on the court.
I'll tell you, man, I was ready for that game. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was. But we had some that wasn't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We had some was not ready, and anytime you play a district team, you've got to be pumped up. You've got to be ready to play that game. That's the teams you want to win.
Yeah.
Our girls don't understand right now because they're still young, and we've got girls that's come on that's never played ball.
Yeah.
And they don't realize, Belfry, Pike Central is who we got to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you guys, when you play your district, you want those wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're playing all these other games to get yourself ready for the Belfry. And I was ready, man. I mean, I was ready. We came out. I thought we moved the ball up the floor pretty easily.
Yeah.
But we had good looks. We had all kinds of good shots. And if you've seen it on film, we just could not throw it in the ocean. I mean, we had good looks. Now, Belfry, they played hard too. Jalea had a great game, and Jalea is one of my favorite players in the region. She's a good, she's just a good athlete. But down, I think 14 at halftime, and missed. Like I said, when they brought me the stat sheet in, missed 24 shots. Think about it. You make half of those shots, you're winning.
Right.
Yeah.
You make all those shots, you're up 20.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell our girls, and they don't realize. But once our girls get down like that, get in the hole, they don't understand basketball's a game of runs.
It is.
You know how it is. Anytime you
We
watch
say
these
that so
games,
much.
Yes. I mean, you could be down 15. Look at UK last night.
Yep.
Those times they were down 15 or 15. Next
swear,
thing you
then
know,
it'd
it's
be
back and
full
forth.
ball game, yeah.
Exactly. But our girls is yet to figure out that stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They think, oh, we down 15, it's over. Let's just quit.
It kills their
And that's the
confidence.
thing I'm trying to get out of them right now is not to quit. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're down or what. We've got 2 girls that can light it up if they get on. You know what I mean? I mean, but again, they're young.
Well,
That sounds a lot like mine and Ethan's season this year.
I know. I watched you guys. You all have had a lot of seasons about like I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
That-
tough,
it really
man. I mean,
just hearing that, it's just like, it's giving me flashbacks and it's hurting my soul.
and people don't realize how hard as a coach, you know, I know these girls think we don't care, we get done, but it's stressful. Like I've been stressed out for I'm not lying, man. We need a win right now, you know what I mean? I'm searching for that win.
Yeah.
We need a win to stop the bleeding, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I mean, I've been stressed out. I've thought about it, but hopefully we got Martin County coming in tomorrow, 6:30, varsity game only. I really think we're going to beat them.
Most definitely.
I swear, I'm telling you right now.
That would be a huge win, too.
Listen, I really believe we're going to beat them, and I'm telling you. And then we got Hurley. I think we're going to beat them, so we're going to get back on track. And then, you know, we still got East Ridge and Jenkins coming up, and it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Well, and what a lot of people don't understand that me and you discuss all the time is you talked about the 5 to 6 kids. It's like when they get down, you know, at a small school, that's
At
huge.
a small school,
that is huge.
That
man.
is
Like,
we don't have 20 kids on the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when we're at practice, I can't take Kylie and Callie and say, go sit down, you messed up.
We ain't got nobody to put in.
But we don't have nobody that can get in and do their job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even though there's times they play bad, and I want to set them, but it's hard when you've got girls that's never played and they look at you like, you know, they're not ready for it.
Right. Yeah.
Now, you can throw them in here and there, but me and you both talked about it. I don't care what nobody says, and I'm sitting here looking live on D&D. You coach at a small school, come to Phelps and coach, go to Jenkins, and let's see how you do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
give us, you know, I would love to be at a big school.
Yeah.
You have all these kids, you know. You
Got all these
I mean, you talk about all the
resources.
time. We're trying to keep kids to play.
Yeah.
We have 2 or 3 quit, then we're like, well, you know, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
We're calling the school. I mean, we're begging these girls. They're like, I've never played. I don't care. Just come on. We just need bodies.
We'll teach you.
And that's what people don't understand. I mean, Lord, I would love to be somewhere like, you know, with 25 kids, you know, and I'd love, and you know, I've been at Little League all day. You know, we've got a good turnout this year.
Yeah.
Phelps Little League, and that's something, you know, I've said we've got to get that started.
Yeah.
And
Get people
we've
loving
done
the
it
game.
last year good, and this year we've got a lot of numbers out. I'm so happy. And we got a lot of girls too, so that's where you got to start. Or me and you, Jenkins, Phelps, we're never going to get the numbers in high school if we don't build it from the bottom.
You got to let the
And
kids.
just like you guys do AAU.
Yes.
And I love it, man. You all stay busy. Ethan's one of my best friends. Me and him, we come up the coaching ranks together. But that's what you got to do. People don't realize the time you put in, I put in.
Yeah.
They don't understand it.
No.
If they knew how much time we spend away from our families and doing what we do, they'd respect you a lot more.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what
And-
I mean?
Yeah, and they don't see that like we don't have another option if we want to stay competitive. We have to go 365 days.
You have to.
stay.
I mean, that's the only way we can. We can't take off. We can't. I mean,
No, we
small
don't have
school.
that.
If there's a gym open, hey girls, please get in that gym.
Yeah,
You
come
know,
on.
I mean, people don't. But you know, I think you know we do good with what we got, but hopefully we can get more numbers out.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving in, and we touched on this a little bit throughout that conversation we just had. But with the Super Region coming up, how are you feeling in terms of getting that teams getting that extra shot, and how do you foresee it playing out?
Well, me myself, I was against it.
Yeah.
I was one of these ones, you know, I was against the Super Region. I didn't feel like everybody should go. You know what I mean? If you can't win a game in your district, you don't deserve to go. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
And my girl plays, But another good thing I do like about it, even though I didn't like that, at least, I mean, our girls will get to play there. You know what I mean? They got an easier chance to get there now.
Yeah.
You know, so that's good. You know, as far as that goes. But you know, I don't like it too good, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah.
I really don't understand
I'm
it.
excited, but I agree.
Yeah, I'm excited and see what happens. Something new. We'll see. You know, who knows?
I'm all for it, and I would love to see a 3 come in and upset a 1.
That would be
love it.
amazing.
I would go crazy.
That would be-
Yeah, man.
It's going to be like March Madness.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
I'm
It's
so
gonna be
stoked
exactly
about
like
it. I said it from the get go. I was like, man, I love this.
Yeah.
I love it. But I was
like
one
I
of the
said,
few.
I still don't understand it good.
Right.
But I can't wait to
It's
see
confusing.
it. May
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it may be great. I hope so.
Well, guys, with that being said, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got more questions for Coach McCoy. And don't forget, you at home, if you have any questions for Coach, put them in the comments. We'll put him on the spot.
Yeah.
Ask him something that he's not prepped for. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the bourbon pecan coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better. If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall and Jones Funeral Home in Burgee, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall and Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall and Jones. Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started. Right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be, for generations.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, and very special guest, my good friend Justin McCoy. Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Guys, we have a question in the comments, Coach. Before we get started on our questions, Sammy Whitaker, our producer, wants to know, what's some of the differences you've had coaching, going from boys to coaching girls?
It's a good question, really good question. I tell you, I started out coaching boys. That's all I ever did was coach boys.
Yep.
And like I said earlier on, you know, I'm a hard coach.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows it. You see me. You know, boys is like I said. You can get on them more. You can get up in their face. You can make them. You know.
Yeah.
And they'll listen. A lot of times, boys. I mean, they won't pout or nothing, and they'll go hard. And and boys are a little bit faster. The game's a little bit faster than girls. That's a big thing you got to get used to. When you move from boys to girls, it slows down. You know what I'm saying? And people's like, oh, sometimes I don't like watching the girls because it's slower. Yeah, it is slower.
Yeah.
But, they're girls. But I tell you, some of these girls
Play harder
than the boys.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I've seen it.
And when I come to the girls, it was different. You know what I mean? I started out trying to be like I was with boys, and it got to where, people were saying, hey. And I realized, hey, I'm being too hard. You know what I'm saying? Stuff I shouldn't say because it's girls. And you get girls tearing up on you. You look over at a boy, and he's like, I'm ready, And then you get on a girl, and she's over pouting with her head down. I'm like, oh, God, I broke her heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So it took me a while to get used to that because I love the girls I coach.
Yeah.
And, I do ride them and get on them, and some of them get mad at me. I know they do. And there's some watching right now, probably I know you get mad at me. I got an 8th grader, Kaylin Sloan. I know she gets mad at me, but I push her because I know what she can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes I do go over a limit, but I was used to boys.
Yeah.
But, boys and girls, it's just the speed of the game. The boys are a lot faster, and the girls are a little bit slower. But, man, let me tell you something. You got some players out there, girls. Watch Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's putting on a show.
Oh, my gosh, man. She's better than some NBA players.
Yes.
For real.
I tell you what, man, and it's like before this year, because I really never watched girls before this year. I started watching girls a lot more because we started this show.
Yeah.
But I would have said last year, physicality. Dude, I've watched some girls games, and those girls beat each other to death.
They do, man.
Yes.
You see some boys.
Y'all got a girl, Jenkins Richie, man. She's a player. I love her, man. I'd love to have her on, with us. I mean, I'm just saying she's a big girl and she can play.
Yeah, man. And two, another thing that I always tell my guys too, and I'm sure you tell your girls this, is don't be worried when I'm getting on you.
Exactly.
Be worried when I stop.
That you just said it, Ethan, and I've said that, and I know my coaches will tell you that, and these girls that was on here, they'll tell you that. If a coach is pushing you and riding you, he cares for you. He knows you. He wants you. He's got faith. But if they quit and they don't, we quit talking, we know you quit.
Yeah.
We've gave up. You know what I mean? And don't ever let that happen.
Never.
Because. But I do want to say one thing about girls, and I will say this while I'm on here. Like I said, I love boys.
Yeah.
I mean, I had. My nephew went through boys. I coached him up. I coached, Dominic, Frank, all these good players.
Yeah.
I coached for a long time. And, you get good crowds at boy games.
Yeah.
I mean, you do.
Yeah.
You get big crowds. And it's sad. It's kind of sad that girls,
Yeah.
they go to the school too.
Exactly.
They're just as important as boys.
Yep.
But you go to some of these gyms, man, they ain't ours games, we can't pay the referees.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't make enough money to pay the 3 referees.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the KHSAA and the 15-3, they need to cut down to 2 officials for girls' games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's a district matchup.
Or tournament play.
Or a tournament play, I think it needs to be 2. There's no reason to have 3. And that would help. That would help these smaller programs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would save you $70.
Yeah. You about have to do double headers just to make ends meet.
Yes, to make ends meet. And and it's sad. I want to say, turn on, watch Caitlin Clark, watch some of these girls, and I know boys is faster and it gets more exciting. And I understand. I love it too. I watch all boys games, never miss. But give these girls a little credit. You know what I mean? Give them a little credit.
I'd say South Carolina could go in right now and beat some college boys teams.
Absolutely.
I mean, that team is scary.
Yes, but these girls put in just as much work as the boys. And I love my boys at Phelps. I love all of them. They know that. And but these girls, they put in a lot of hard work too. And it'd be nice to see more people come out and watch them play.
Yeah, and the student body, anyways,
Yes.
And that could.
I've always said this, and me and my AD that's over top of me actually had this conversation. I would love for the state of Kentucky to grant us 1 game a year that we could do during school.
Oh, this would be so
man,
amazing.
that would be the
and
best.
let all the kids come for free.
That would be
crazy.
awesome. That would be
great.
so good for all
They
the
used to
kids.
do that back in the day.
Yeah.
And now it's just it's unheard of anymore.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But let's dive on into these. So, we talked about your record earlier in the show. You've not on. Sometimes, most of the time, not always that wins and losses define how your season has went. Do you still consider for this season to be on track, and if so, why?
Yes, I do. I mean, like I said, my daughter can tell you when I made this schedule, I knew what I was doing. Actually, I shouldn't have put them all together like I did, hard.
Yeah.
But I knew we was going to get in this stretch. But the reason for that was we started out great.
Yep.
Everybody was happy. Now this is when you find out who wants to play.
Yeah.
Who wants to stick, who wants to play basketball and who's just there to be there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm getting at now at this point of the season. I'm realizing the girls that want to be here
And the ones
that don't.
Yeah.
And, and these girls that, that's not all in right now, they've got to get all in.
Yeah.
Because if not, we're not going to have the season we can have. We can still have a good season. I mean, we're still 12-8. I mean, that's a good record.
Yeah.
For Phelps girls.
Yeah.
And it's a winning record.
Yes. And our goal is to finish with a winning record.
Yeah.
But, I knew this would happen. Like I said, it's hard, and this is when you find out who wants to be here and who don't.
Yep.
And I've told them that, if you want to be here, show up every day, put the work in, and you can knock off a bell for
At some points, coaches, and this is what I tell my guys, we got to quit begging you to come.
That's it.
Yes.
You're right. We at some point and I know you're in the same boat I'm in. We coach at a small school, and if we don't have bodies, we can't have a team.
Yeah.
And my girl loves basketball. Kylie loves basketball. I don't want to have to have my girl leave because there's no team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm diehard Phelps. I'm blue all the way. I run little league. I do. I've always been.
You do a lot.
I do a lot of.
Wow,
I mean,
yeah.
I've done football. I've done baseball. You name it. I've done it at Phelps.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I have. And so like you said, we've got to quit. At the end of the day, we've got to quit begging these kids to come.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you have to finish the season with 5 or 6, I mean, I'd rather have 5 or 6 that want to be here, as to have 15 that just don't care because it's rubbing off. And I'm to that point, man. I'm telling you, my kids are going to show up and play hard, or they're not going to be playing.
Yeah.
I mean, because we can't beg them. I mean, at the end of the day, the parents can't beg them. I mean, when we played, man, I loved going to practice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's times I practiced so hard I couldn't breathe. I mean, I'd puke and everything, but we showed up. We'd go to a friend's house, hang out if the practice was late, and then we'd go to practice, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we all liked it.
Yeah, man.
If we got benched for something, that was good. We knew, hey, we messed up. Coach benched us. But we can't afford to do a lot of that because who you putting in?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and one thing that I've always, and this ain't on here, but that I've had problem with this season is if I had a kid, say I had 3 kids on the floor. Mm-hmm. If one made a 3, the other 2 would shoot their arm off until they made one.
So
I don't know if you ran into that
jealous.
problem, but man, that bothered me so much.
what now?
this
Say
year.
it again.
If I had 3 kids right on the floor, one of them makes a 3, the other 2 is going to shoot their arm off until they make one.
Yeah.
Instead of just walking over
Just
and being
to try
like,
and
"Hey
match
man, good shot. Let's
That's
get on
it.
defense." And that's what I try to teach my kids, but they will not listen.
Hey, well, I'm just saying, I know exactly what you're talking about. We do it.
And
These
then
girls know
that
we do
also
it.
plays a part into us not having the numbers. They know that they don't have to come out, and it just kills us.
Yes, and that's what's bad. I mean, but I am going to say this though. I've had a couple girls come out this year who's never played. I've got a freshman, Katie Yates. She's probably almost 6 foot tall.
Oh wow!
And let me tell you something. The girl has never played basketball, and Christy, when my coach sitting here, she could tell you, Kyle. They will tell you that girl shows up every day. She's never played. She started out, she couldn't dribble a basketball. Now she can dribble a basketball.
That's good.
She's got better. But now is she ready to play varsity? No. If I threw her in a big varsity game, that's just going to ruin her confidence. You know what I mean? I get her in when I can. But let me tell you something. The girl shows up every day, no matter
That's
what.
what you want out of
I've never had to call her. I've never had to message her and say, hey, come to practice, or we've got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's there.
That's
And then I've got a couple more young ones. Macaulay Sipple, she's dedicated, I feel. She's a freshman. We've got some young kids that want to play. Mm-hmm. But what hurts me is the ones that's played for years, and then they want to start getting down because we're losing, or they're not playing enough minutes, or you know what I mean. Yeah. That's where you got to be a team, and that's why I try to tell Callie and Kylie. That's where we need our leaders to step in and be like, hey, just because you didn't start tonight, that don't mean you ain't going to start tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We got to we're playing 7, 8 man rotations, all we can play.
Yeah.
So everybody's playing a lot of minutes. It's not like you're not getting to play, you know what I mean? But kids, they think if they don't start, it ruins their whole
And
day.
I know
We've had players quit on our team because of that.
Yes.
And we've had this conversation. Me and you've had this conversation a
Several
hundred times. But nobody understands how important a bench is.
Yes.
Like your 5 on the floor is just as important as your 10 on the bench,
Yes.
because if you have energy on your bench and they're getting pumped
Yes.
when you
That
make a
feeds
shot,
your-
that
lead,
feeds starters.
that
Yes.
makes up for the crowd not being there. That
Yes.
bench, and if you have that, it just makes the 5
So
that's in the
much
game play
easier.
so much
So much
harder.
easier.
And so they play a bigger role than what they realize.
They
right?
do. They don't look at Johnson Central right now. I tell people go watch their girls. they're playing 12 rotation. I mean, they're 5 in,
Yeah.
5 out. You know what I mean?
Man.
It don't matter who starts for him. I mean,
They've got 30
you're
players
getting
on
in there
their
if
team.
you
We
get
didn't
4 or
have
5
enough.
No.
We didn't have enough chairs on our bench for them when they came and played Jenkins.
That's what I'm saying. That's Johnson County, man. That's the whole. I mean,
My goodness gracious.
that'd be nice to have that one. Either.
I've never had that
We
feeling,
got
brother.
AC open whenever we play.
Oh, Coach, you got a question for him? My man?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about Kaylee, your daughter, for a minute. She's averaging 19 and 4. Talk a little bit about what it's like to coach a player like her, and speak on her work ethic and how much she means to this team.
It's Callie, ain't it?
Callie, yeah.
Yeah, it's Callie.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
Callie,
That's
yeah.
all right. Everybody messes
He's
up.
always
Everybody calls her
messing up,
Callie,
man.
Oh, it's me.
Well, Darryl does it too. Darryl McCoy, no, I've had to tell him before. It's Callie, it's Callie. But no, she's a, you know, like I said, she's our go-to. You know, we need a basket or something, she can get it. She works hard, you know, and like I said, she's going to score. She's a scorer. I mean, I don't care where we go. I know she's going to score. I mean, there might be nights she might have a bad shooting night or something, but
Everybody does.
But you know, she's our ball handler. She's like Kylie. Those two got to have it. When one of those two are out, I promise you'll see a difference. You know what I mean? We fall down a lot because we've got some other girls, Bailey Norman, Charity. You know, they're coming along ball handling stuff. You know, Charity just started a year ago, and she's got a lot better. But you know, still the big moment. JV's still helping those girls too. You know, and like I said, if we could get Bailey and Charity up to the ball handling and you know, and not being nervous and calm down and play, we're going to be a lot better team. You know, but Callie, like I said, we got to have her. She's a scorer. She can get to the basket. She can shoot. You know, she's a good free throw shooter. And she, like I said, she's the pressure valve that takes off Kylie. And then when Kylie's got it, you know, Callie don't have the pressure and she can spot up and shoot threes. Yeah. You know, but we got to have her. She means, you know, she means a lot to us.
She give you more stress than anybody?
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, there's times, I mean, and it's hard coaching your kid. I mean, one of these days, I mean, you know, if y'all ever get to coach a kid, and I hope you do.
I don't want to.
Okay, but I tell you.
He's always said that.
But listen, man, it's so hard. I mean, I love my girl more than anything in this world. But she knows I'm never going to give her an inch. I never have. That's just the dad in me. You know, some dads are different. They may brag, they may this. But if my girl's not doing something right, I'm going to tell her.
She had 29. You're going to say,
if
why
she
didn't you
had 29,
have 30?
you should have had 32. Why'd you miss that layup? You know what I mean? Or why didn't you get a rebound and go put it up? But, you know, in her game, I still tell her. She ever works and gets her defensive game down, you know, and get better at rebounding, she's going to be a really hard kid to stop and play.
Yeah.
You know,
Defense leads into offense.
But she, you know, she puts a lot of energy in offense, slacks off on it, and that's what I tell her all the time. But, you know, it's summer. Me and her's going, like I said, she's going to get better side to side, and she will start playing better defense. But that's her weakness right now, and teams know it. You know.
Okay, so we all suspect the ultimate goal is to win district, right?
Absolutely.
But you know, you're sitting on the girls' side. You're sitting in probably one of the tougher girls' districts in the 15th region.
Oh yeah.
You know, what will it take from you and your coaching staff to get these girls prepared for a district run, and how do you plan to do that?
Well, like I said, we got to get back in the gym. We've got to get in better shape. I mean, we're getting there. We've been pushing them this last week. You know, I really, like I said, we've had a heart to heart. We've got them running now, and no more getting by with I missed practice because I'm sick or I done this. It don't matter. You miss, you're still gonna come and run your laps because it's not a punishment. But these girls is here, they're running, so
they're gonna do it.
They're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna get in better shape. That's their goal. We know how to play. These kids know. They've been with me for 2 years now. They know their offense. Yeah. They can tell you. We go in practice and run stuff. It's like easy. Yeah. Right. They run it. I don't have to tell them nothing. They go do it. They know their drills. I mean, they're very well know. It's just getting them back in shape. Yeah. You know what I mean? And hopefully, and getting a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, back all in. You know what I mean? And not half straddle the fence. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's either get out of it or come and be with us all in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where I want to get to. But I think by the end of the season, we'll be in the best shape we've been in. And I can tell you, I think we've got a shot, but we've got to hit our shots. If we're not hitting our shots, we ain't gonna be nobody.
Yeah, and that also plays out of season too. Like, you got to be dedicated outside of the season to stay in shape. to be ready for the next upcoming season.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's just like Coach said, you got 365 days.
You have to.
You have to. You have to, or you will be out of shape.
You can't be laying around. And I encourage kids too. Now let me tell you this: I encourage kids, to play other sports too. I mean, if you're at a small school, I tell my kid, hey, go play softball. Kylie started volleyball and loved it. You know what I mean? And done good. I enjoy coming and watching her do that. I mean, I'm going to support these girls no matter what they do. You know what I mean? Because I love them and I'm going to be there for them, and they know that. And but at a small school, you have when you play other sports, that's keeping you in shape. Yeah. For your favorite sport, if you're playing basketball, that's your favorite. So I encourage them. And some kids don't do it. I mean, I can't. Yeah. But if you don't do it, get in the weight room, get in the gym, and work on your body for the next season. And that's what at a small school we don't have enough of. Is kids that'll come and these girls will tell you. Right. You call and say, hey, we're going to work out today.
Oh, I'm doing this.
You'll have 3 show up. Yeah. I mean, then you're like, but it's not, you can't make it mandatory. No. But that's the thing, what I'm getting, I wish more would do that stuff and show how much they're all in, and that's when you would win district. Yeah. If I called right now and the season's over and I said, hey, girls, we're going to meet at the weight room and lift weights tomorrow, I can already tell you who's going to be there. Yeah. I mean, you have 3. You might have 4, But I'm proud of these girls, though. I really am, man. I've had them. They're young. We still have no seniors. I'm excited for them, and I just tell them when you lose games, don't get down. You know what I mean? No. Stay positive. You're a small school playing some of these big old schools. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're competing, you're doing something. Yeah. Well, I'm proud.
And this is one thing that I'm trying to learn as a coach right now, and I know you've been through it too, is my 7th grade group got to the county championship this year. Yeah, awesome. we fell short by 2. Right. But I swear I think that, and I don't know how to teach this, but I think the reason we fell short was just the moment. That one game set in a district matchup with the gym full, it's just like it's high pressure, and
they're not used to that.
And our kids
I don't know how to prepare for that.
No, and it's hard, and that's like I say with girls. When you go to games and you don't have 10 people, 15 people in the stands watching you, I mean, how do you get up for that?
How you gonna get hyped up?
I mean, it's hard to get up, and that's why I feel like last year, if you watched us last year, Pike Central beat us 30, 40 points both games. Yeah. Well, we got in the district tournament. We had a crowd there. Everybody was pumped up. We had we was up at halftime and lost by 7. I mean, think about that.
It plays in.
At that point, plays in. Fans. The fans have to be there to help prepare these kids for the
They have to be there to help these girls. I mean, support them. Yeah. I mean, that's the truth.
If you got a community that's
and Phelps, I will say this.
I mean, let's be real. Everybody knows each other.
For a small school, I will say this. For a small school, I have not seen. Now, I can't speak on the girls' side, but for the boys' side, those fans come out. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on the road, they were here in Jenkins, and we're about an hour away from you all, and back to gym, in blue. Yeah. And so, I know the community supports that.
Let me tell you something. We've got a die-hard good community. I mean, we got good people in our community. I know we're small, but I know almost everybody in the community. Yep. I know a lot of them, and let me tell you something. Yeah, we've got bad stuff. Yeah. Everybody does.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, but at the end of the day, we got a great community, man. I get messages all the time from people from community, bragging on our girls and stuff, and we appreciate that. And we've got Hornets Restaurant is all the time helping our kids out. Yeah. Paul's Pizza. I mean, Giovanni's. I mean, we got a good community, and like you said, but I think a lot of it, again, it's just some of them don't, they're older and they can stay and watch it, on something on the phone or something, which is good. I mean, I love that, but I would like to see more come out. But like you said, Absolutely. Our fans are diehard now. They will go. Our parents will travel. I don't care where we go. Our mommies and daddies will come, and they'll have support.
Most definitely.
Let's talk about some other players we've not got to mention yet. And Kaylin Sloan, Bailey Norman, Ariana Pigman, and Charity Mounds, Speak on them a little bit on their improvements and what you've seen them make throughout the season with those improvements.
All right, that's a good question. I'm glad you said that. And that is what I'm trying to get is those girls. Yeah. To play better, and to take practice more serious because Ariana Pigman is tall. I mean, she's 5'10", long. I mean, can block shots, leads us in blocks.
Oh, wow.
I mean, but, me and her go at it all the time over her commitment. Yeah. Her biggest thing is got to get committed more, you know what I mean? Yeah. gotta wanna get in the weight room and get stronger. Gotta wanna work in the off season because she could be great. I mean, I'm not lying. The girl can run. She don't get tired, but she's a little weaker. You know, she's a sophomore.
Yeah.
You know, but she's the one. Like I said, I want her getting committed. And then you got Bailey Norman. Bailey's always played. Bailey's a good athlete. She plays every sport. They are almost a good kid.
Yeah.
But again, Bailey gets down on herself some, and she got, you know, sometimes me and her's been talking lately about body language. You know, you can't. Anybody can see. You can look out on the court right now, can't you? You can see somebody that's got bad body language. It ain't just me telling you that. People see that.
Always.
And when you got bad body language, it's hard to play good. You know, that's why I tell Bailey sometimes. I know she may have something going on, or you know, but you got to drop that stuff when you're in the game and just play hard.
Yeah.
Go hard, and good things will happen if you go hard. You know what I mean? You're gonna make mistakes. That's part of it. But we got to have Bailey because she's a good defense player. She's actually starting to shoot better. When she's set, she can score.
Yep.
You know, but as the summer goes on, she works on her. She's going to be able to do more things.
Yep.
And then Charity, like I said, she came on a year ago, started her first game the other night against Belfry. She is growed, man, and she's coming. And I feel like Charity, man, I mean, she's one of these kids that's, you know, you never have to question. I mean, she's there.
Now, I've got a question for you about Charity. So I see that last name Mounts.
Yes.
Is she any relation to Christian Mounts? Do you remember him? He played at Phelps, then went to Park
That's
Central.
Callie's brother,
Who?
Christian Mounts.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he was my
He played at, but I remember him at Phelps, and then he went to Pike Central his senior year.
Yes.
Yeah, because Phelps was going to win district, but he left.
He left.
He was with Francis.
Yes.
Yeah, Francis was younger, though.
Yeah, Trey was young. Trey was a sophomore, I believe.
But he was
and
good.
Trey was
man.
good too, though.
Yeah, Trey was. And Christian, let me tell you something. Christian was one of the best to ever come out of Phelps. People don't realize that. I mean, the kid could drop 30 on you in his sleep. You know what I mean? But you know, he was weaker defensively. He was like Callie. I tell her a lot of times you remind me of Christian a little bit because you put the scoring up, but sometimes you get lazy on D. And I used to holler at Christian. I mean, I coached him when he was little. I helped with Trey. I mean, I coached those boys. And but no, I wish Christian would have stayed.
I always wondered why he left because he was there.
Man, I'll be honest with you.
They formed a super team at Pike Central.
They did, but listen, man, I was there. Christian, it wasn't nothing. His mom or me or anybody. We wanted him to stay at Phelps, but you know he was 18 at the time. You know, and he made his own decision. He wanted to go, and he had a buddy over there. One of his best friends. So I mean, he went. I hate it, because I'm diehard, but I had to go support him. Right. But he did.
Did you ever wear the orange? Or did you just keep straight blue?
No, I wore blue. But I might have wore a shirt one time that said PC, but it was blue. But I didn't want to make Phelps mad. But at the end of the day, I mean, I had to support him, his family. Yeah. And he had a good year. They should have won district, man. They bloated at the end, let Belfry beat them. But it is what it is. But no, Christian was a heck of a player. He really was.
Sure was. Now, you have another big game coming up tomorrow against Betsy Lane.
No, Martin County.
Martin County.
Is it Martin County?
Martin
County and then Betsy Lane later
Betsy
on.
Lane later.
Yes, okay. Talk to me about Betsy Lane. Let's talk about Betsy Lane. Mm-hmm. You recently played them. They recently beat you 62-41.
Yes.
How do you plan to approach them this time? And can you see the outcome of this game being different than
Absolutely.
the first time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can see the outcome being different. I mean, again, we got out rebounded.
They got some big girls.
They got some big girls, and we let one of their big girls got hot. I mean, she was hitting shots that, normally she don't hit a lot of like that, And like again, that's the point where we was at that heart-to-heart moment. I said about middle of the season, we didn't care. We was just out there playing. We just didn't care.
That's going to be the
and
most.
And now we're caring because there's no shortcuts no more. I done told them, rest of the year there's no shortcuts. If you don't want to do it, then you're not going to play. I mean, it's simple as that. But I think we'll play better with Betsy Lane. I do.
And it's at Phelps, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Corey does a fantastic
job.
That's what I was
going to say.
Coach
Coach Thacker does an amazing
Coach
job.
is one of my good friends, too. Me and Coach has been friends.
Yep.
I mean, we come from the middle school ranks up.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he was at Millard. I was at Phelps. He was coaching C team. I was coaching A. I mean, we kind of growed up in this coaching. Me and him even had a funny conversation at Betsy Lane. We met mid-court, and we both looked at each other. I was like, Corey, could you imagine us ever – think about, man, could you ever imagine us being here? Right. And he's like, man, it's just a dream come true. You know what I mean?
It's surreal.
It's surreal when you get to to get out there and coach, especially like me. I got my daughter. I got 2 more years with her, and at the end of the day, I love coaching her too. I'm not gonna lie, she's my kid, but it's fun to get to coach a kid. I mean, it is. It's something special that when they grow up, you'll never get this back, and that's why I want to be with her. You know what I mean? I love it.
And I will say this, I'll never forget this moment. I'm gonna tell something on Coach Thacker. We was here in the gym, and as the summer, he just left Prestonsburg boys to take Betsy Lane girls, and me and Justin was standing right there talking. And Corey walks in and says, "Man, it feels so good to see some familiar faces around here."
Yes.
So I always remember that moment. But I would say, like, before I get into this last question, like, I will say, knowing you and knowing Coach Thacker, man, that game's going to be something else. High energy from both coaching staffs, you know, because both of y'all bring the energy, man.
We should try to get D&D to come
Yeah,
through.
I hope so. Darryl, Dave. I was with David Jones last night. Me and him, get your butt up there, Dave.
Yeah.
I'll get him there.
Now, the last time you were on this show, we asked you about the rule change and how you thought it would affect the 1-and-1 change, the foul count, how you thought. Now I'm going to ask you the same question, but I'm going to, instead of asking you what you think, how has it affected you and your team this season?
Like I said, I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't like it
and it's hard when, again, you know, we're small, we get in foul trouble. You know what I mean? They're shooting free throws. That's what happened some of the games we play, you know. It's like we'll get 5 fouls. There's 4 minutes on the clock. You know what I mean? They're shooting. I mean, but it's not really affected us a whole lot, though, if you really think about it. It's kind of probably sped the game up a little bit. You know, you get done a little quicker, and that's the whole point of the rule change was to speed it up and, you know, get out of there quicker. But it's not been too bad. I mean, it's not really affected us a whole lot.
I'll tell you, it affected me some this season because down the stretch, shooting those two, man, I missed the one. You know, because you foul their worst free throw shooter, right?
Yeah.
And, like, you got to worry about them. They're always going to make one miss one, usually in a big time situation. But if they're only shooting one and you foul a bad free throw shooter, they miss it.
Yeah,
you know?
because it's a lot more.
They miss that first one every time. So, Coach, listen, man, we greatly appreciate you being here. I love having you, and we definitely look forward to having you back again next season, maybe closer to the postseason if you can. But guys, with that being said, we're going to take you to break. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
MGC Supply is your complete source for drainage and erosion control products. MGC Supply also sells services and installs Cummings generators. MGC Supply sells and delivers limestone gravel for businesses and homeowners. MGC Supply is your solution supplier and is proud to sponsor all the teams in Eastern Kentucky. 2590 U.S. Highway 23, South Pottville, Kentucky, 41501. Give them a call today at 606-433-0077. Or you can call them at 606-794-6765.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, and co-host Big E. We are back with the big three right here, guys. Let's dive right into these hot takes. We appreciate you sticking with us. Guys, okay, so I've started last week a trend, and we're going to keep this trend with high school hot takes.
Yeah.
The Pikeville Panthers boys knocks off the number 3 team in the state, beating the Harlan County Black Bears 62-60 with a last-second shot by Charlie Fitzer. It was actually a putback because Eli Johnson shot
and it clanked off.
Now I'm going to ask you 2 questions in this.
Okay.
The first one being, did Eli Johnson walk? Second one being, what does this mean for Elijah Justice and the Pikeville Panthers?
All right, so to answer that first question, it looked like the foot was dragged. It did. I don't know. I wasn't there in person, so it's hard to see on video because, sometimes the coverage can be a little blotchy.
Yeah.
But when I was watching it, it did, in fact, look like a travel.
So, with that being said, so you answered the first one. What does it mean? What does this win mean?
Man, Pikeville's coming off of an All-A championship.
That was the girls.
The boys won as well.
The boys didn't make it to the championship in All-A, no.
Oh, okay.
That was the girls.
Oh, okay. Well, I think Pikeville's a very good team in the 15th. I didn't expect them to be coming into the season to be as high as they are.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit for them. That's what it means.
Big E, was it a travel?
I didn't really see it well, you know what I mean? I heard about it and I seen a little clip or two, so I don't want to say if it's a travel or not because I ain't for sure. But for what it means for Pikeville is, I still don't think Pikeville wins 15th. I mean, I think it's a big move for them knocking off a team like that. I figured Harlan would have a tough time with Fitzer. I mean, he's a huge kid. He's gotten better since last year.
Yep.
So coming in, I figured they'd have trouble with him. Now, I thought they'd still win. I heard Trent got in some foul trouble, but no, it's a big step for him.
Well, when I first watched the video, I said, yeah, that's a travel. Mm-hmm. But then I talked to some officials, and we actually sit down and watched it, and the camera don't have a good view of the ball.
Yep.
So, and this is what me and my friends that officiate were talking about. It's like on the other side, the referee did this. So when a referee does that, it means the ball was tipped, right? Yeah. So if the ball was tipped, then it's not a walk.
Okay.
But if it wasn't, and with the I'm not going to sit here and say it was or wasn't because you can't. The clip I seen, now there may be a different shot of it, but the clip that I seen, it was his back, and you couldn't see the ball. You couldn't see the ball until the ball was up in the air, and he recalled it and shot it.
Exactly.
And so I'm not going to sit here and say it was a walk or it wasn't. If the ball wasn't tipped, it was. If the ball was tipped, then it wasn't. That's where I'm going to leave it at. But what does this mean for the Panthers? Listen, somehow, some way, Elijah Justice and his coaching staff always finds a way to be competitive and make a region run. I don't care what you think. And everybody knows how rough of a start they had to this season. Losing or not, they lost a couple games early on that people thought that they would win, and people thought they were going to be better than what they were at the start of the year. But now he's got them in the mode. Now he's starting to pull them together, and a lot of people will say that Elijah just loves and cares for those boys, right? And I'm obviously not as close to Elijah as what I am Justin or Corey or any of those other guys that I talk to on the regular, but you can really tell that being in the same district. My first 2 years here at Jenkins coaching, we were in the same district, and you can tell that he just loves those guys.
Yeah.
And when you love a team and a team loves you, they will run through a wall for you.
Exactly.
And that is dangerous come postseason when you have a team that respects you that much. It's not about fear, it's about respect. So with that being said, let's
quick shout out to Eli Johnson, just hit 2,000 points.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, wow. Quick shout out. Yes, that's awesome. Coach Trevor Noble comments and says, regardless, have to keep big fella off the offensive glass.
Yes,
you're right, Coach, 100%.
That's the whole reason why that putback even happened.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Guys, we're getting close to the end, and I asked you guys this question, I think, back in December.
I love this question.
Which region so far, as we get into postseason, has been tougher? And by tougher, I mean more competitive, not the better teams, not, which region has been more competitive, 14th or 15th
earlier
region?
in the season, I said 14th region. Watching these teams play both regions, I'm going to have to go with the 15th. The 15th is just a tougher region. Every team is out for blood with each other. It's like the rivalries are just so much more competitive in the 15th than they are in the 14th. And it's just, man, we don't know.
Talking boys and girls now.
Oh, yeah. Well, girls as well.
Yeah.
Girls as well, we don't know who's going to win the 15th in the boys' side. Let's be honest.
Yeah, nobody knows. It's been so up and down.
Nobody knows who will win that now. And when it comes to the 15th region girls' side, it's between Pikeville and Johnson Central.
Yeah.
But those teams have always really been the 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So and Shelby Valley also in past years, but not necessarily this year. They're having a little rough patch. But yeah, 15th region is definitely the tougher.
Big E?
I still think it's the 14th. I know you still got Hazard. Hazard's they only lost 2 games, I think it is.
Yeah, the boys' team.
Yeah,
is tremendous.
But Breathitt's beat them. They played Knott in a close game. Played Perry in a close game just recent. I think the 14th is wide open for anybody. You know what I mean?
It is.
If you come in the 14th and you have a bad game, you're probably going to lose. You know what I mean? So
they're more physical in the 14th.
They are. The girls' side, in the 14th it's usually not in Letcher. For the past couple of years, you've had not in Letcher right there in the championship, just like on the girls' side in the 15th. But I think the 14th is the tougher region.
I think, man, for me, I'm going to go 2 different ways. On the boys' side, I think that the 15th is the more competitive for the sole fact is that with the super region and with the way the teams are playing, man, I could not sit here and make a prediction. Now, I can tell you who should win looking at a roster.
Yeah.
But Pike Central should, on the boys' side, be top dog roster for roster.
Look at a super team in the NBA.
But with the way that teams are playing, I have to, there's not one team that I would go lay money on to win.
No.
Right now, because I don't know how it's going to play out, especially with the super region. Now, with that being said, on the girls' side, I got to go with the 14th. Mm-hmm. And I say that because, in the 15th, you have, like you said, Johnson and Pikeville, and then everybody else. Right? Well, in the 14th, it has always been Letcher and Knott, but this year, you've got Owsley, you've got Leslie, you've got Letcher, you've got Knott, you've got Perry, you've got Hazard, you've got Breathitt. It's really it's kind of like the 14th girls is kind of like the 15th boys. There's not one team that I would go lay $100 down and say this team's winning it right now because you just don't know with the way that the games are coming in, the scores are coming in. You're seeing these teams play right here on D&D, and so you just don't know. And so I have to say, boys, definitely the 15th is more competitive. Girls, definitely the 14th. But now I will say this about the 14th boys, it's to me, it's going to come down to Breathitt or Hazard.
Yeah.
I would lay money on one of those 2 teams, and that's my argument right there.
It's hard to leave Knott out, though, because, if Knott's playing good, they're going to be hard to beat.
Knott is going to be hard to beat, you're right. And so Knott could be right there, but I don't know. You got Sperry and Honeycutt at Breathitt, and then Hazard's playing lights out. Although they did just struggle with Perry, they're always going to struggle with Perry no matter.
Well, they blew him out the first time. It was a 20-point game.
At Hazard.
But
you play at Perry, it's a different ball game. It's hard to win. You got to be good to win at Perry.
Yeah.
You got to, because that's a tough place to play.
It is.
That crowd just is crazy.
Coach McCoy comments, says, thanks, guys. Enjoyed it. My girls really enjoyed the show. Coach, you are always welcome on the show.
Always.
You and your girls, we have so much respect for you, your girls, and that program, and you are more than welcome to come back at any time. We love having you here. With that being said, now we've got our high school hot takes out of the way. Let's move on into the college. Now, remember, Sam, I know you're going to want to talk about this for 30 minutes, but we don't have 30 minutes to talk about it. Okay, we've got the Big 12, the ACC, the SEC. Put those in order.
All right.
1 to 3.
With the way the Big 12 has been playing, it's hard not to say that they are obviously the best conference right now.
Remind me who's in the Big 12. Is that Purdue? And
That's Purdue, Kansas, all
yes,
those.
Okay.
Yes. So the Big 12 has 8 teams ranked in the top 25.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone lets you know that is the best conference in basketball right now.
Right.
I mean, you've got Kansas, Iowa State, Houston, Texas Tech, Baylor, TCU, BYU, Oklahoma. Every one of them are ranked right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are high rankings. They're not low rankings. They're high rankings. And
I think I got 2 or 3 in the top 10.
they do.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, man, that's just kudos to the Big 12 right now. They're really playing ball. But if we're gonna go off of ACC and SEC this year,
2 and 3.
all right, 2 is gonna be SEC.
oh my God.
And here's why it's going to be SEC. They've got 4 ranked teams right now in the top 25. All right? Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Auburn. Okay?
I love how he has to look at his phone to answer this question.
Oh, yeah, no.
Neither one of us is prepared this much. For this
Oh, I'm prepared. Listen, so the SEC has 193 wins on the year, 106 losses. That's a 64.5% win percentage. The ACC has 196 wins, but 123 losses. That's a 61.4% win percentage. The SEC has 3 20-plus point per game scores, while the ACC only holds 1.
Yep.
Okay? That's why I've got SEC over ACC so far. Last year, in the tournament, the SEC had 8 teams that qualified for it, while the ACC only had 5. For the past 2 seasons, the SEC has definitely been the tougher conference than the ACC has. So I got SEC at 2, ACC at 3.
Yeah, the Big 12 is first. Going off what Sam said, they're clear favorites. I'm going to put the ACC right in the second spot, and it's just like
this is a Duke and a Louisville fan. I'm just going to let y'all know this right now.
It's just like bringing Louisville into SEC in football. They're going to be middle of the pack.
Yeah.
You bring the SEC basketball teams and the ACC, they're going to be middle of the pack.
Yeah,
No.
100%.
And that's just the fact.
There is only 2 teams in the ACC.
Let him finish.
That is even
Let him
good.
finish.
Duke and North Carolina.
We were quiet the whole time you talked. Let us finish. When he goes him, me, then you can rebuttal.
There's no team that is coming into the ACC from the SEC that is going to do maybe Kentucky. I'll give it to them, or Tennessee. Probably not even Kentucky, just Tennessee. That is going to compete with North Carolina or Duke, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that too. And so this is where I'm at. I'm going to say, obviously, I'm not crazy. The Big 12 is 1. I mean, that's hands down. For this
So we all agree that the
this
Big 12 is
season,
1.
the Big 12 is 1.
Okay.
Now, I have to agree with the Big E on the number 2 and the SEC 3. Now, this is me actually giving the SEC credit at even putting them at 3. Because
what other conference?
Well, I mean, you've got the Big 10.
Okay.
Big 10.
Who's in the Big 10?
Ain't that Ohio State, Michigan?
Yes, it is.
That's them. That's their.
Are they ranked?
No.
No.
But anyways, let me finish. So, if I come out here and said LeBron's better than Michael, you're going to say Michael's the best. You're going to tell me why do you always say Michael's the best? Rings,
Michael Jordan.
right?
Well, no, I don't.
6-0 rings. Oh,
I don't say that.
Yeah, that would be the first thing a random person would say would be he's got 6 rings, right?
He's been
okay.
6
So
times and
let
won
me
6
finish.
times.
Let me finish. So here's my argument: is like the reason the SEC look at championships. The SEC as a conference has
you're going off
more
of history. We're
has
going off
more
of right now.
championships than the SEC. And so,
You're going
with
off
that
of
being said,
legacy.
we also have more Hall of Fame coaches. Well, you may have more wins this season, but I promise you, since the beginning of time, the ACC has more wins than the SEC.
You're living in the past.
You look at teams like Duke, North Carolina, Miami. Like, you take a team like Miami that's middle pack ACC, they're at the top of the SEC.
Kentucky, baby.
They're at the top of the SEC.
Kentucky,
I
baby.
never said they wouldn't. But what I will say, and we'll get into this in a minute, but how can you sit here and say that after they dropped to an unranked Florida team?
That has the same record.
That has the record as Miami.
The SEC is a tough.
Oh, my
is a-
Lord.
Listen, the SEC is.
We're
going to
dive on
We don't
into
even know
the-
who's going to win the SEC championship.
Yeah, but if you drop the best team, which is
got
Tennessee,
that
drop Tennessee in the ACC, and they're still at the top, but they're not the best. They're not better than Duke, and they're not better than North Carolina.
Duke
but
and
yet
North
they're
Carolina,
still,
I can say, are the only 2 teams in the ACC that are worth anything.
I think you put Georgia Tech in the SEC, and they're going to be middle of the pack.
Yeah,
and that's
Georgia Tech's good. Yeah. So moving on, we'll get to Louisville. I added a Louisville question just for you.
Because they actually got to win.
Kentucky drops to an unranked Florida team in OT 94-91, and not only do they drop to Florida, but they also drop to Tennessee 101-92.
Yep.
What does this mean for Coach Cal and the Wildcats?
Listen, I know for a fact that Coach Cal's in the hot seat. I mean, Kentucky fans are used to winning.
Not recent.
No, but we are used to winning.
One championship in a decade.
It doesn't matter. We're used to winning.
Yeah,
we're used to winning.
They've won so much. They've won here lately.
for him to lose to teams like that on your home court, man, another thing with the.
I will correct you. He can't be in the hot seat. They gave him a lifetime contract. The only way you get rid of him is if he quit.
Oh, he's definitely in the hot seat. They will buy him out.
They don't have the funds to buy him out. Of that contract.
Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky has more funds than a lot of other teams than you think. But anyways, let's not get into all that stuff. Our defense is our biggest problem with Kentucky right now. Our offense is great. Our defense is horrible. And it allows teams to beat us because we don't know how to switch on to players whenever they get screened. We don't know how to play an effective man-to-man. It's time for us to utilize our big men more, get them stronger maybe even, because they just cannot handle whenever they go up against another 7-footer. We get out-rebounded. I mean, it's a lot of the fundamentals with Kentucky right now. Yeah, we got these flashy players. Yeah, we got a good offense. But where's our defense? Defense wins ball games. That's what I have to say.
Well, and that's why it's always come to this. Coach Cal just can't coach. All the good coaches.
The big-time games, I can agree with you with this. Every time that we're in a big-time game, Kentucky loses it in the last 4 minutes of the ball game. We can go back. We can go get into the game every single time. Like we said earlier, basketball is a game of runs.
Yep.
Just like Coach McCoy said, we would be down 13. We would cut the lead down to just 4. We never did take control of any of those games, though. And that's what caused us to lose. And that goes with coaching.
Big E, what does this mean for the Kentucky Wildcats?
This means we talked about the tournament a little while back. How far will they make it? I don't see them making it past around the 32. But like Sam said, it comes like Coach. I was listening to Coach McCoy say it comes back to fundamentals. I mean, you can't use all your energy to get on offense.
Nope.
And then get back on the defensive side and slack off.
Yep.
It's got to be a 50-50. You got to buy into one system, play hard on both sides of the ball, or it's not going to lead to success.
Well, I think it comes back to something, but not fundamentals. It comes back to coaching, right? Here's the thing. Kentucky always has the most talented team in the SEC, and one of the most talented teams in the nation.
College basketball.
But they're never coached well.
Yep.
They're never coached well, and that's why they can't win these big games. And I've said it for years. There's just nobody wants to listen to it. Until Kentucky gets a real coach in there, they will not win another national championship because Cal can't win big games. He couldn't win big games at Memphis. He couldn't win big games at UMass. He can't win big games at Kentucky. He's not been able to win big games since he's been a coach, and it's not Kentucky's fault.
No.
He just can't coach. But what is Kentucky's fault is they've let it go on for too long. To now, it's the new normal to fans. To most fans, it's the new normal.
Diehard fans, but yes, Kentucky.
But you know what I mean. You know what I'm coming from.
I get you.
All right, we've got one more hot take before we dive into Sammy's top 10. Louisville picks up a big win over ACC opponent Florida State, 101-92. Wow, that's the same score as Tennessee. That's crazy. 101-92. What does this mean for the state of Louisville basketball?
The state of Louisville basketball. First off, it is the state of Kentucky, and Louisville plays.
You obviously misread that because I didn't mean it as like a literal state.
I don't care.
Like the pointer.
Louisville plays in Kentucky. Kentucky will always be the team that everybody talks about from
That
the state.
we wasn't really talking about state.
I don't even care.
We wasn't even talking about this state.
It doesn't mean anything.
You caught on to that, right?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Jesus, where'd you go school at?
Jenkins. That don't make us look good. You better quit. No, listen. That doesn't mean anything for Louisville. It's what? That's their 7th win of the season. Let's be real.
8th.
Is
8 and 13.
8th?
8 and 13.
Man, I just don't. Louisville is sitting dead last in the ACC.
Yeah.
And this is a team that's usually up higher, you know, in mid to like 4th, 3rd place. No, I don't think that this means anything for them. What is Florida State's record? What are they?
They were 3rd in the ACC.
They're 3rd. Okay, wow. I mean,
yeah, it was a big game. It was a big win.
You know, I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they got a big win. They probably need that for a confidence booster.
Yeah.
But I think that their next game they'll probably drop it, and then it'll go right back to the normal.
Big E.
This ain't nothing for Louisville. I mean, you know, I want Kenny Payne to do good. I like Kenny Payne, but he
ain't a head coach.
Going back with Cal, I mean, he's not a good coach. He cannot coach. He can be an assistant.
Yeah.
But he cannot be a head coach.
I think even Coach Cal could be a good assistant or a recruiter. Let's say that. Coach Cal is the absolute best.
Well, we're off of Kentucky. They don't surprise us none. But Louisville being bad for this long, something's got to change because it's not the normal.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a breath.
It's a fresh breath of air.
It's a fresh breath of air. Waking up in the morning knowing that well, not just me, but all the other Louisville fans, knowing that we won a game against a really good opponent is huge. You know, it's huge for our players. It's huge for our fan base.
Yeah.
You know, but here's the thing, is that Kenny Payne still has to go, and I understand the reason they haven't fired him yet is because, I mean, it's not going to get any better. It can't get any worse, but at the end of this year he has to go, and we have to find a coach. I don't care who it is, but we have to roll out the red carpet, spend our last dime if we have to get a coach to get Louisville, because it is truly sickening and sad that the program has went down this bad, this fast. You know, even with Chris Mack there, who came from Xavier, and we all, as Louisville fans, thought he was bad because he couldn't win in tournaments. But, I mean, he was still at least winning 18 to 23 games and staying competitive within the ACC and teams like Kentucky. You know, so.
Well, I wouldn't say teams like Kentucky. But.
He was still competitive with teams like Kentucky. Now, we haven't consistently been a top-tier program in the state since Rick Pitino was there. But, you know, with that being said, man, it's just – I'd love to see it. We've quadrupled our wins from last year. You know, we only won 2 games last year, so we've quadrupled it. How many coaches can say that? You know, we've quadrupled, so that's times 4. But, no. Guys, with that being said, that's our hot takes for today. When we come back, we will have Sammy's top 10 girls. Later on, Sammy's top 10 boys. And then your favorite segments, Pick'ems. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
MGC Supply is your complete source for drainage and erosion control products. MGC Supply also sells services and installs Cummings generators. MGC Supply sells and delivers limestone gravel for businesses and homeowners. MGC Supply is your solution supplier and is proud to sponsor all the teams in Eastern Kentucky. 2590 U.S. Highway 23 South Pottville, Kentucky, 41501. Give them a call today at 606-433-0077. Or you can call them at 606-794-6765.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. continuing that tradition today. And we always will be for generations to come.
MGC Supply is your complete source for drainage and erosion control products. MGC Supply also sells services and installs Cummings generators. MGC Supply sells and delivers limestone gravel for businesses and homeowners. MGC Supply is your solution supplier and is proud to sponsor all the teams in Eastern Kentucky. 2590 U.S. Highway 23 South Pottville, Kentucky, 41501. Give them a call today at 606-433-0077. Or you can call them at 606-794-6765.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host, and the guy who don't know what state means, Sam Collier, and then co-host Big E here. We have a comment, guys. Mary Beth Lucas says you are cracking us up. LOL. Well, we are glad that we are cracking you up because that's what we're here for. We want to see you smile, and we want to make sure everybody tunes in. So, guys, please make sure you like this and you share this so that we get more views. The more views we get, the better off we are, and the better off we are, the longer we can stay on air with this show. And we hope you enjoyed as much as we do. Guys, let's dive into this. Sam, give us your top 10 girls for this week. I know there's been some changes, so give it to us, man.
There's been some drastic changes to this list, you know. Coming in at 10, I've got Betsy Lane. They dropped on my list because they've actually dropped 2 games this week. And I got them at my number 10. They're 12-8. But Coach Thacker is a very good coach, and I feel like he's going to get them off this slump that they had this week and get them over the hump and make sure that they come into this week prepared and ready to play some basketball. At number 9, I got Shelby Valley, 14-6 on the year right now. They also dropped 2 games this week, and for them to have lost 2 games, I don't know. Like, I thought they was playing good.
They dropped from 4 to 9.
Yeah, they was playing good, and now they're not playing good. It's hard for me to keep them up in such a high list when all these other teams that are above them have been playing better. And speaking about that, I've got Lawrence County coming in at 8, 13-8 on the year. You know, this is a tough squad over in the 14th, I thought, but they also have dropped some games that I didn't expect them.
Lawrence is in the 15th.
Lawrence is the 15th.
Yeah, Lawrence is 15th.
My bad. 100% my bad. I'm thinking Bulldogs, so that's my fault. Number 7. Perry Central. Perry Central coming in at number 7, 15-8. They got a good squad over there. It's hard to win in Perry. But number 6.
Who's Perry's coach?
Perry's coach, Missy McLawrence. I have learned her name very well.
It's Misty. You said Missy.
I said Misty McLawrence.
You said Missy.
Oh, whatever. They can't hear y'all. They always try to clown me. It is what it is. At number 6, I got Letcher Central. I got the Cougars. Keith Baker's doing a great job with this team. And, yeah, they may have lost a game to Harlan County. But this is a very tough team to be matched up against right now. I mean, they're playing their best basketball that they've played in years.
They're a newcomer. They weren't in here last week.
Yeah, they was.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they was
I wouldn't
definitely
say in years, but because we've been pretty good. We had Kaylee Ray and them bunch. So
yes. At number 5, I got Pike Central. Pike Central moves up on my list. You know, they're 13-7 on the year. Bobby Spears is doing a great job with that team. And I feel like they don't get the credit that they deserve over in the 15th because there's just so many good teams over there. But coming in at 4, we've got Martin County. This Martin County team, man, to run a close game with Pikeville, wow.
Johnson Central.
Oh, it was Johnson Central. My bad. Yeah. It was Johnson Central. My bad. Had a mistake. Yeah, Johnson Central. That's crazy to me. 54-51. They only win by 3 against this Martin County team. And I've been telling everybody for a few weeks now that this Martin County team is starting to outshine the boys team over there. Like they're the team to talk about. Martin County right now is the girls, and it's a tough team to beat. It really is. At number 3, I've got Owsley County. I told y'all last week if they keep continuing to play the basketball that they're playing, they're going to continue to move up on my list. And I mean, they're number 3 now. The 14th is they got to watch out for this Owsley County team. I really think that this team can definitely make a district championship the way that they're playing.
Yeah.
I really do. At number 2, I've got your Pikeville Panthers again at number 2. They're 17-3 on the season. Christy Orem, she's doing a great job with this team, though, and for them to play against the teams that they've played against outside of the state of Kentucky. The state of Kentucky. Don't make fun of me over state anymore. But, yeah, I got Pikeville at number 2. And at number 1, I've got Johnson Central. Johnson Central is going to be at my number 1 because they prove to be able to beat tough opponents that are within their region. And they'll stay there until them and Pikeville possibly meet in the super region.
Before you rebuttal, we got a couple comments. Coach Trevor Noble says states, regions seems to be very hard for Sam to figure out. And then Donna Justice says proud of our Shelby Valley Lady Cats. We are too. We listen. We support all these kids across both regions. This is a tough job having to pick for Sam to have to pick these top 10s and for us to pick these games later on and pick them. So it can be tough, but we support all these teams. Yes. You know, we are fans, and we hope that everybody continues to do great. Big E, thoughts on the list? Anything you would change?
I think it's a good list. I like everything, but man, I still like Pikeville at that number 1 spot. I still think Pikeville's a good team. You know, play a close game with Martin. You have those games sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, that was Johnson.
It was Johnson.
Oh, Johnson. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
You got me
See,
mixed
look, you
up.
done it too. It's okay.
I still think that Pikeville is still in that number 1 spot.
For me, I'm going to just rebuttal off what you just said. So, for me, Pikeville needs to be 1. I'm going to give you 2 reasons. For one, they just played in the All-A-State Championship game. Yeah. They lost, but they probably lost to one of the best teams in the state.
And they only lost by 1.
Actually, I'm going to give you more than 2. I'm going to give you 3 reasons. For 2, any local Kentucky team that they've played, they've beat them 10+.
Yeah.
They've beat them 10+, and they've played a lot of local. They've beat them 10+. 3, Johnson, and this is no knock to Johnson or those girls or Coach Jim Hicks, but Johnson just played a 4-point ball game with Martin County, who is 4 on your list.
Yep.
Now, that is reason enough to drop them to 2, just so for the sole fact that Pikeville has beat every team locally 10+. You know, and that's just me. So
it's just hard for me to do the take with Pikeville and Johnson.
Because you go by records.
Well, no, it's not that either. It's they haven't played each other.
They haven't played each other, and that's a great matchup, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to see that matchup, but we're not going to see that matchup unless they meet in the postseason because they're not on the schedule. But everything else I think looks fine.
What about Owsley County at 3? Do you like that? I figured.
No, and I'll tell you why. No, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think Owsley's the best team in the 14th. I think they can be. And as far as this list goes, what you're saying is that Owsley's, 3 spots better than your next 14th region team. To me, that's not the case. I think that Owsley's good, but I also think that Letcher's good. I also think that Knott's good. I also think that Hazard's good. Perry can be good. That's what I said earlier in our hot takes when we had the 14th versus 15th talk. That 14th region of girls is just so hard, right? Because it's so open. But I don't like that there. If it was me, I would have liked it better. I'd liked it better if Letcher was at 3 than Owsley. And I hate not to see Knott in this list. I hate not to see Perry or Hazard in this list.
Well, Perry's on here.
Is Perry in here?
Yeah.
So I see Perry. And Perry's another team that I think that can move up.
Hazard's lost a lot of games in the
14th. Respectfully, I think that Martin's very deserving of a top 5. I don't know that Pac Central is. I don't know that they've won the big games to be in a top 5. I'll tell you another team. I don't like Valley below Lawrence. I mean, I think that Valley's been playing I mean, they had 2 losses this week, but you can't compare their whole season on 2 losses.
Well, no.
You know, and when you do these top 10s.
Well, that also comes against strength of schedule. You know, a lot of the teams that Shelby Valley has played has been Virginia teams.
Well, I can see that then.
Yeah.
You know, I can see that. But what I was getting at is you can't sit here and solely say, you know, well, this team did bad this week and so they're going to drop. Because it don't, in rankings, it don't go week by week. It goes from that season up to that ranking. You know, you're looking at the whole season, who they've played, how hard their schedule's been, how many games they've won, and all that factors in. I know you look at, I'm not trying to discredit your list at all. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm just saying, for me, I think I would move Valley over Lawrence, Pikeville to 1, and I think that I would flip-flop Letcher and Housley. That's just my opinion. With that being said, we have another comment. Mary Beth Lucas says, Paisley said to tell Sam he is her favorite. So you got a fan, Sam.
Let's go, baby.
Guys, when we come back, we'll have Sammy's top 10. You won't want to miss it. Then later on, we'll have the pick'ems, and I promise you won't want to miss that. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
MGC Supply is your complete source for drainage and erosion control products. MGC Supply also sells services and installs Cummings generators. MGC Supply sells and delivers limestone gravel for businesses and homeowners. MGC Supply is your solution supplier and is proud to sponsor all the teams in Eastern Kentucky. 2590 U.S. Highway 23 South Pikeville, Kentucky, 41501. Give them a call today at 606-433-0077. Or you can call them at 606-794-6765.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
MGC Supply is your complete
Co-host Sam Collier, co-host Big E, and guys, this is our 13th episode. We appreciate you guys tuning in all season long, and we so much enjoy doing this. You know, we could not do this without you guys. We need views to stay on air, so make sure you like and share this if you like this show, and get more people watching. That way the views stay where they need to be. Hang on one second. Guys, we have a comment coming in. Donna Justice just commented, Valley beat Pike Central yesterday. And now, before I let you get into that, guys, I want to say this is a fan interactive broadcast. Like, we want you to comment. We want your opinions. We will, anytime somebody comments, I will sit here and read it off, and you can be in this conversation with us. We want that. We want you to be interactive. But you had a comment for that comment.
Yeah, so I did not know that Valley beat Pike Central because I based my top 10
up until Friday.
Up until Friday, right.
Friday nights is when you make them.
Friday night is whenever I get to make this top 10 so we can be prepared for today. So,
but that will factor into next week.
Exactly. That's
Saturday's games always factor into the next week.
So don't be surprised if you don't see this top 10 definitely change again, because it will. It will.
It always changes. You always have teams beat teams. That's how wild basketball is.
Yes.
Right? It always changes, but it's consistency is hard in basketball.
It is.
Okay, let's dive on into this. Let's move in. We got your girls' top 10. Let's move into the boys.
Yeah.
Let's start with it.
All right, I'm going to start with it. At number 10, I got Perry Central. I got the Commodores coming in at number 10. You know, they've not been on this list in a couple weeks, I don't believe. So, they're coming in 14-10. Coach Shannon Hoskins is doing his thing, and they got a big win over Letcher Central this week.
Yep.
They did. And that's the sole reason why they cracked my top 10 again, because even though LCC doesn't have Peyton Dixon for the rest of this season, it's still a tough team to beat.
Well, I actually heard through the grapevine that if they make the region, PD could be back.
Wow.
I heard that.
That's a quick
it's like
recovery.
that's like some Aaron Rodgers type stuff.
That's a quick
but
recovery. That is a very quick recovery. And,
I would love to see that.
I would love to see that, but I would not like to see him come back and get hurt even worse.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if PD is watching this, yes, this is your last season, but you also just signed with Berea, which is an amazing thing. So
Yes.
please,
heal up.
please,
Make sure you're healed right before you come
please,
back.
please think about your future. Yeah, that's all I want to end that on with. At number 9, I got Prestonsburg. Prestonsburg took a major drop on my top 10 this week because, Floyd Central blew them out of the water this week. It was never a game. And I've not had Floyd Central on my top 10 for the past 3 weeks. Floyd Central has had a rocky road this past month, and for them to come and beat a Prestonsburg team that has been playing very good and very physical, beat them by 20, almost 30? Was it?
You haven't had Floyd Central on your list since they were 5-2.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Wow. For Floyd Central to beat that team like that,
They just lost to Paintsville too, Floyd Central did.
Yep.
Who
Who you got at 8?
Number 8, I got Martin County. Martin County at number 8. They're 12-8 on the season. Coach Jason James doing his thing with this team. They started out rough. Now they're starting to win ball games. They lost one of their players, and they're fighting through it. And sometimes whenever you lose your point guard, your team loses a lot of confidence in themselves because they don't got that person to do all the play calling.
Yeah.
So I got Martin at number 8. At number 7, I've got Breathitt County. They dropped out of my top 5 this week. They lost to Hazard, and they lost another game this week. I can't remember. Was it Harlan?
It was Harlan Independent.
Harlan Independent. For them to lose 2 games like that, a team that they beat in Hazard and a team that they should have beaten, Harlan Independent, I don't know what's going on with Breathitt because it seems like they're just starting to lose a lot of games here recently. And this is a really good team, and it's a team to still watch out for in the region and in district. But right now I got them at my number 7. At number 6, I got Estill County. Estill County's 15-7 on the season, and they have really been showing everybody what they can do in the 14th. The Engineers are balling out right now, and don't overlook them.
Nope.
Don't think just because they're a smaller school than these other ones that they're not going to come and play a good game with you, because they will.
They're not necessarily a smaller school. They're just a school no one talks about.
That's what I'm saying. They don't get as much credit as these other schools do.
Yeah.
And it's not a very talked about team, but I'm trying to make them relevant again. I got some. I'm riding with these Engineers right now. I think they're doing a good job. At number 5, I got Pike Central. They're finally cracked my top 5 again, and I think this has been since like maybe the second week that we done this show.
Yeah.
That they've been back in the top 5. So very proud to see what they're doing, going into mid-season, almost the end of this season, playing like they're doing. Coach Eric Ratliff does an amazing job with this team, and like we said, if you look on paper, Pike Central's got the best roster in the 15th region.
Yeah.
They just got to learn to play like that.
Just one ball.
Right.
Yeah.
They got to learn to play like that. At number 4, I got Lawrence County. Lawrence County's sitting at 17-4 on the season, and they're doing a great job too. But for them to have lost games this week as well, for them to be on a row and then all of a sudden lose the teams that they should have beat, they would still be in my top 3 if they had not lost. At number 3, I've got Pikeville Panthers. And the sole reason why they're in my top 3 is because they just beat Harlan County.
Number 3 team in the state.
Number 3 team in the state, man. For them to start out the season like they did, I think they had 3 losses starting out the season.
I'm not for sure about that. I don't know.
I
know they was losing some games early. I know they lost 3 early, but I don't know if that was their first 3 games.
No, it wasn't the first 3 games. No, I'm just saying it was like
they had to fight through some controversy to get to where they are.
They was like 2-3 starting out, and now they're 12-4. And just like Coach Ethen said, Elijah Justice finds a way to always make sure that this team is ready going into the postseason. And right now it's showing it. So, I got Pikeville at number 3. At number 2, I got Knott County. I got Knott Central in there, the Patriots. I mean, man, 17-4. Coach Casey Huff is doing an amazing job with this team. Hunter Haddix, Jaden Huff, Drake Sloan. I mean, this team is a tough team to play against in the 14th region. Just like Big E said, they're playing very good basketball right now, and that's a team that you do not want to see come into tournament time.
100%.
Because, when they're on, they're on. And at number 1, they've been at my number 1 for a long time now. The Hazard Bulldogs. 20-2 on the season. One of Ethan's great friends, Coach Al Hall. He's doing an amazing job with this team. He always does an amazing job with this team. But for them to be so young and to continue to persevere through all of that and to keep winning ball games with these tough teams that they face every night, night in, night out, playing like they're doing, somebody's going to have to prove to me that they're going to get that top spot, because Hazard they're stuck there like some crazy glue right now.
Before you start in on him, Evan, we got a comment coming in. Coach Tex Isaac says, Ethen, I'm so proud of you and the things you're doing. Exceptional work. I'm proud of you too, Sam. Thank you, Coach. We greatly appreciate those kind words. We always appreciate kind words and people liking the things that we do. We put a lot of hard work into these kids and stuff like this. So we greatly appreciate you recognizing it. Big E, thoughts on this list? Anything you would change?
Yeah, I would. I don't think Pike Central is deserving of a top 5 spot yet. And I think you moved Breathitt into that spot, and I know Breathitt lost 2 games, but I mean, you lose to the team as number 1 in your list that's been there the whole season pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then you drop a game to Harlan Independent.
It's a team that they should have beat.
They should have been on. You have bad games, but the team, looking throughout the season, I mean, this Breathitt County team is, I think if you play right now, they're one of the best teams on this list.
Well, it's just over the past 2 weeks, they've had a losing record. They've not had a winning record over the past 2 weeks, and that's the only reason why they've dropped.
I would still keep Breathitt. I mean, I'll still put Breathitt over Pike Central. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the list, I like the rest of the list. That's the only thing I would change.
I like Hazard at 1. I can live with Knott at 2. I don't think that Pikeville is deserving of being a top 5 team.
No.
Wow. You can't base a whole season off one game.
Right.
I mean, you can't. And so, for me, Pikeville's doing better. Yeah. And like I said earlier, Elijah always finds a way to get them ready for postseason.
Yep.
But they're not, to me, they're not a top 5 team yet. They have top 5 talent, but they've not started playing. They've had one game that shocked the world, and I commend them for that. And I know that was a tough game to win with Trenton Noah on the other side and Harlan County doing their thing. But they're going to have to do. They're going to have to do more. They're going to have to continue this winning streak and continue doing the things that they're doing for me to say they're top 5. Now, with that being said, I do think they deserve to be on the list, just not in the top 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. And another thing. You're essentially sitting here saying that Estill is the 3rd best team in the 14th region. That is not the case. Estill is good. Estill is winning games. But Breathitt is better than Estill.
Yeah.
And I don't care that you don't have Breathitt in the top 5, although if it was me, I would, because of Austin Sperry. I mean, when you got the best player in the 14th region, you got to respect that.
Yeah.
But I will say they deserve to be
over
Estill and deserve the credit of being at least in the conversation for the 2nd best team in the region. Now, it's tossed up between them and Knott, because obviously Hazard's doing their thing, even though Breathitt knocked off Hazard, and it's going to be interesting because Hazard and Breathitt could essentially end up playing 4 times this season. They played in the All-A, and then they scheduled each other twice, and then they could meet in region. So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. But another team that I'm looking at, man, is I don't understand how you have Prestonsburg in this list and not Floyd Central.
Yep.
I do not understand that. Floyd Central has the talent. Floyd Central has a great coach, and they have had ups and downs like everybody else, but they deserve to be in this list, especially after the showing that they had against Prestonsburg. Now, people can say, they shot lights out, they did this. But at the end of the day, they won the game, and they won it pretty handily against a very good and well-coached Prestonsburg team.
Yeah.
When everybody thought that game would be super close, it wasn't. So for this week, I know you can't base it off one game, but I think Floyd Central is deserving to be in this list, and I'm not saying that Prestonsburg isn't, but I think Floyd Central is. If Prestonsburg in there, Floyd Central should be in there too. And that's my argument for this week. So, guys, with that being said, that's Sammy's Top 10. And when we come back, we've got Pick'ems. You won't want to miss that. That's everybody's favorite segment. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better. Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Big Sam, co-host Big E. Guys, we appreciate you staying with us for this Pick'em segment.
Yes.
Now, before we dive in, I've got to go over the records. And remember, there's only one winner. And at the last show of this season, our very first season, the one winner will get a stick of pie in the face of the two losers. I hope it's me being winning because I'd love to pie these two guys. But let's go over these records so far. So we've got Big E that's still in the lead, 84-45. I'm still, for 3 weeks, I've been 2 games behind him, 82-47. And then Sam, Sam, is actually catching up. He is just 6 games behind me and 8 games now behind Evan, sitting at 76-53. Now, I will say this. Now, I was 3 games behind Evan before that Perry Letcher game. And I call Sam, and I'm like, dude, I really hope Perry wins because 3 games is a big stretch for me to try to catch up and win.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the Commodores didn't let me down. They put me right back in the race. So, but no, that's our record.
Man, I can't believe that I have caught up, man. I was down. I was
at one point. You was behind 22 games. Yeah. So you're itching. You're getting there.
The comeback. I'm happy with just being able to catch back up with y'all. If I get pied in the face, so be it. I know the fans would love to see it.
If he comes back and wins, that's a real. They need to
That's
make
an
a movie.
underdog story. We'll have to make a movie.
Make a movie about that.
We'll
Yeah.
have to make a movie about Coach's Corner, Sammy coming back,
The underdog story.
the underdog pick'em story.
All right, guys, let's move into this. We've got the top 10 girls games for this week. Let's start it off right. We've got Letcher Central at Hazard. Who you taking?
Man, I like this Letcher Central team. It's hard to win at Hazard, but I'm going to have to go with Letcher Central.
Yeah, give me Letcher Central.
Give me Letcher as well. I think Letcher gets this one.
Yes.
Next, we've got a game that we mentioned earlier in the show with Coach Justin McCoy, Betsy Lane at Phelps. Who you got?
Man, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah.
It's at Phelps.
Yep.
I love you, Coach McCoy, but I'm rocking with Betsy Lane Bobcats.
How much did they beat them by last time, Phelps? I mean, how much did Betsy Lane beat Phelps by?
I think it was like a 12, 14 points, something like that. Maybe
10.
Something
I
like
think
that.
it was like 57
It was-
47.
Something like that, yeah.
It may have been more than that.
Playing-
I can check. But
Playing at Phelps. Still go. Give me Betsy Lane.
I hate that we're picking the same teams, but I think Betsy Lane. I think that it's a better game, but I think Betsy Lane takes it. We've got next Shelby Valley, big time rivalry game. Shelby Valley at Pikeville.
Shelby Valley at Pikeville. Give me Pikeville.
Pikeville.
I'm taking Pikeville too. We've got Pike Central at Belfry. Now keep in mind, Belfry got those players back on the roster.
They do got those players back on the roster, but I think Pike Central is playing good basketball right now, and I'm going to take Pike Central over Belfry.
Give me Pike Central.
Give me Pike Central as well. I'm not going to pick against the Lady Hawks with the way that they've been playing right now.
Yep.
Next, we've got Prestonsburg at Paintsville.
Prestonsburg at Paintsville. Man. I'm going to take Prestonsburg in this one. I think they're going to go over there to Paintsville, and they're going to get an upset.
Give me the Tigers. Sure, give me Paintsville.
I got to go with Big Sam. Give me Prestonsburg. I think Coach Kidd and company gets it done.
And I want to go ahead and correct you real quick. Betsy Lane beat Phelps 62-41. It was a 21-point favorite.
Well,
Yeah.
I still think it's a better game, but Betsy Lane
Yes,
still wins.
100%.
Lawrence County at Floyd County.
Man, Coach Tyler Little is doing his thing over there with these girls coming in this season. First season with them.
Yeah.
They're young. They've got a lot to learn. And I think this Lawrence County team is doing good right now. So I'm going to have to go with Lawrence.
Yeah. Big E?
Yeah, give me Lawrence.
I'm with you guys. Give me Lawrence as well.
Yep.
We've got Martin County at Johnson. Last time
Now
it was
listen, this
at
is a
Martin.
4-point ball game.
It was a
at
4-point
Martin.
at Martin, yep.
No way they go to Johnson and make it a 4-point ball game. I'm taking Johnson Central over them.
Yeah, it's hard to play in Johnson. I played there in football. That's a tough place to play. Give me Johnson.
I've got to go with you guys. Give me Johnson as well. Next, we've got Belfry at Phelps.
Yeah.
This is a game that you two missed on last week.
Yeah. We both picked Phelps to beat Belfry.
Yeah.
Belfry does got their players back. And they've been playing very dominant.
Yeah. But like we said, we need to take into account that Coach McCoy and his girls missed 25 shots in the first half.
Yes.
And that was on the road. So, that, they're bound to shoot better at home.
They
How
are.
much they win by? Was it a close game?
No, it's 30.
Yeah. I'm going to still have to take Belfry, only because the girls that came back are very experienced players.
Yeah.
And I don't know what their current situation was at the beginning of the season, why they didn't play. But, yeah, that was a very huge addition for these Lady Pirates.
Yeah.
To add them back.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Belfry as well.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I've got to go with
It's in
Belfry.
that margin. It's,
We've got Betsy Lane at Prestonsburg.
Man, Betsy Lane's got some big girls. I'm not sure about Prestonsburg. I know they got really good guard play.
Yeah.
And I think that might be able to play a factor in this game. It's at Prestonsburg. Give me Prestonsburg.
okay. I'm gonna stick with Coach Thacker and give me Betsy Lane.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is, Coach Thacker was at Prestonsburg for a bit, I think. I think it's a revenge game. Give me Coach Thacker.
And I hope he gets it too.
Last one, we've got Letcher Central here in J-Town. Who you got?
Letcher Central.
No comment, no. Sorry, Coach Whitaker, no nothing.
Coach Whitaker knows I love him.
Okay, Big E?
Give me Letcher Central.
You know what? Give me Jenkins. I think they get upset. I'm going to take the underdog story right here on Coach's Corner. Coach, I'm not letting you down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, Coach. Give me Jenkins. Guys, with that being said, that's our last girls game for this week. When we come back, we'll have our last segment with the boys pick 'em. You won't want to miss it. Remember, it's not too late to like and share so we can add a couple more viewers. So make sure you're liking and sharing. We'll be back with you in just a minute.
Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
MGC Supply is your complete source for drainage and erosion control products. MGC Supply also sells services and installs Cummings generators. MGC Supply sells and delivers limestone gravel for businesses and homeowners. MGC Supply is your solution supplier and is proud to sponsor all the teams in Eastern Kentucky. 2590 U.S. Highway 23 South Pottville, Kentucky, 41501. Give them a call today at 606-433-0077. Or you can call them at 606-794-6765.
This is Bruce Walters from Bruce Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
If you've recently had a loved one pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Virgie, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout Eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better. Don't let just anyone take care of your pharmaceutical needs. Call Jay's Pharmacy in Jenkins, Kentucky. Jay's Pharmacy has been a staple in the Jenkins community for many years, formerly known as Boggs Pharmacy. Jay's Pharmacy is in it for you. They'll make sure your trips to the pharmacy is easy and smooth. They'll fight the insurance companies for you and give you great prices on your medication. Call Jay's Pharmacy today in Jenkins, Kentucky. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ethen Cummings, co-host Sam Collier, co-host Big E, guys. We appreciate you tuning in, and for those who are just now tuning in, let's go back over these records, guys. And for if you're just tuning in, this is your first time watching Coach's Corner, listen, there's only one winner. We keep up with these records from the Pick'em segments, and the one winner will get to put a pie in the face on the last episode of this season of the two losers, okay? So, guys, with the records, Big E is sitting at 84-45 in the lead. I'm 2 games behind him at 82-47, and Sam is 8 games behind him, sitting at 76-53. For those of you at home that don't know, at one point in time, Sam was 22 games behind me at the time because I was in the lead, and he has come back
out of the hole.
If he's digging. He wants that. He wants that winning record.
Shovels in both of them.
He wants
and I'm going to town.
He wants it. With that being said, let's dive into these boys' games. We got the top 10 boys' games. Let's start it off right. Paintsville at Betsy Lane. Who you got?
Man, this is 2 teams that are both 10-10 on the season.
I know.
But I'm going to take the Paintsville Tigers for the sole fact that they beat Breathitt this year, and that's a tough team to knock off. So give me Paintsville.
You can't use your phone. That's cheating. Neither one of us are using our phone.
Yeah.
Turn your phone off. You cannot use your phone to look at records. That's cheating. That is the definition of cheating. Are you trying to be the Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? Is that what you're trying to be right now?
No,
you cannot
I'm not
use your
cheating.
phone. You can use your phone the whole show, but not during this segment. That's cheating.
Well, here.
That's cheating. There you go. I hope
There it is.
I hope he just busted his phone.
Golly.
Who are you taking, Big E?
I'm taking Paintsville as well.
I'm taking, you know what? I'm going to be different because I'm two games behind you.
Okay.
Give me Betsy Lane. Give me
like
Betsy
that.
Lane at home.
I like that.
We've got Magoffin County at Martin County.
Man. You know, Martin County's on my list, and they're playing good. But
Yeah.
Magoffin has they've got a really good player.
Are you going to contradict your list?
I am not going to contradict my list because I'm going with Martin County.
I've been high on this McGoffin County team all year, as y'all know. And every game that's been on here, I've picked them. They've never let me down. I'm going to rock with them. Give me McGoffin County.
There you go.
I've got to go with Sam. It's hard to win at Martin. Jason James is a great coach, man. And although they are going through some injuries right now, I still think they get it done at home. Now, if it was on the road, I might lean a different way. But where it's at home, give me Martin.
Yeah,
We've got Leslie County at Owsley County.
Leslie County at Owsley. I'm going to go with Leslie. Give me Leslie County.
Yeah. Yeah, give me Leslie.
You know what? Owsley just beat them in the LA.
Mm-hmm.
I think they get them again at home.
You think so?
Give me Owsley.
I didn't really take that one, so that's
We've got Johnson County at Prestonsburg.
Man, Johnson County got a big win this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride with Prestonsburg, though. Coming off of such a bad loss, I think that Coach Chase Parsley is just going to do his thing with this team.
Yeah.
And have them prepared coming into this week and play that smash mouth basketball that they've been playing all season. Give me Prestonsburg.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh as well.
You know, I'm going to say this. Sometimes, you know, and Prestonsburg's a very good team.
Yes.
But sometimes when you take a bad loss,
It kills your
it
confidence.
sticks with you for a couple of days, maybe a week. And so, and with Johnson coming in on a high, Prestonsburg coming in on a low, I think Johnson gets it done in a close game. Give me
It's
Johnson.
at Prestonsburg.
Yeah, it's at Prestonsburg. Give me Johnson. We've got Knott County at Martin County.
This is a good matchup.
Yep.
14th versus the 15th. Knott County hasn't let me down yet when they face these 15th region teams.
Yep.
I think that they're undefeated against them, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to sit here and say that they are, but I'm pretty sure they are. With that being said, give me Knott County.
I mean, this is a tough game right here. You can really go either way.
Martin County's got a big team.
And not be surprised. Yeah, and I think that will factor into this game, but I don't think Martin can run with Knott County. Because Knott County likes to run and get the ball up the floor in transition, so give me Knott.
I'm with you guys. Give me Knott too. We've got Shelby Valley at Pikeville.
I'm going to take the Pikeville Panthers.
Yeah, give me Pikeville coming off a win like that. You know, you got to.
Oh, yeah, that's a confidence booster right there.
If it's at Valley, I take Valley. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's a hard environment.
If it's at Valley, I take Valley. But for right now, with it being at Pikeville's
Also another
out of the
place
out of the 14th and 15th region, I can honestly say, to me, I think Pikeville is the hardest gym to win in. It is hard to win there, man.
Yes.
You have to be really good to win there, just because of the environment and the way they play at home.
Man.
And so, give me Pikeville in this one. We've got Belfry at Phelps. This game went to overtime the last time they met.
It did. But Tyler Weddington put up 40 and 22 against this team.
Yeah.
I picked Belfry to win that game, and they didn't let me down.
We all did. All three of us picked Belfry.
No, I picked Phelps.
No, all three of us picked Belfry.
I picked Phelps to win this game.
Are you
100% picked Phelps, and so did Evan.
Oh.
Yeah,
You picked Belfry.
I picked Belfry, yeah.
Yes, don't put that on us.
Yeah.
Cameron Smith, if you're watching this, I'm rocking with the Phelps Hornets.
So dramatic.
So dramatic.
So dramatic.
I mean, this is a tough game right here. You can really go either way, and
Yeah.
I think Belfry has a bitter taste in their mouth. Mm-hmm. I think they come in, they play good ball, and I think they get a dub right here. Give me Belfry.
Belfry.
You know, I said, and I took Belfry the last time. But when I took Belfry, I said, and this is something that neither one of you stated this.
You said
I don't know,
but you didn't pick them.
I don't know that Belfry has anybody to guard Tyler Weddington. Now, with that being said, I think that Belfry overlooked Tyler Weddington and didn't give him credit where credit was due.
Right.
And they realize now that they don't have anybody that can guard him one-on-one.
So they're going to
But they can put two on him.
Yep.
And so you're going to have to see other pieces pick up, you know. So, man, this is tough. But I think Belfry comes in with a strategic game plan, and I think they get it done. Give me Belfry.
Take it.
Pike Central at Eastridge.
Pike Central.
Pike Central.
Pike Central. Knott County at Breathitt County.
This is a big-time game right here. I feel like this game's going to go down to the wire.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like it is going to be one of those games. It will definitely be televised. That is, if they don't, somebody's messing up.
It will be.
But
D&D will probably be there.
That will definitely be a televised game, and if y'all are not doing anything when this game is on, you are going to want to tune into this. I'm going with Knott County upset over Breathitt.
How is that an upset? Knott's higher on your list.
They're higher on my list, but you didn't let me finish. Ethen has Breathitt County. Ethen has Breathitt.
Well, I don't have a list.
Ethen says that Breathitt is number 2 in the 14th, and
I don't have a list.
I know
it's
you don't
Sammy's
have a list.
top 10, not
It
Ethan's
is Sammy's
top 10.
top 10, but you're always critiquing it, and you're always saying who needs to be where. So I'm saying right now, Knott County upsets your Breathitt County.
I still don't understand the upset. Do you?
No, I don't get where the upset's
I don't understand it.
That's all right. It is what it
I
is.
rephrased in a comment the other day that you're like Max Kellerman.
You did.
And that you have proven that in the show.
Yep.
You've proven.
I'll take that.
This game right here, it's going to be a good one. It's going to come down to the wire, like you said. It's going to be electrifying. You know, these are two good teams. And,
yes.
You know, I think Austin Sperry and company comes in and gets the job done at this game. Give me Breathitt County.
Here's the thing, right, is I never said Breathitt was number 2. That's where you misheard. What I said was Hazard's clear-cut 1, but Breathitt and Breathitt is in the conversation for 2. I never said they were 2, did I not? I said they were in
find out after this
They
game.
were in the conversation, and you're right, we will find out.
Yes.
That's why I'm going with Austin Sperry and the Breathitt County Bobcats. Give them to me. They're winning. It's at home. Coming to Blue Country. Everybody's going to be out. The gym's going to be packed, and Breathitt gets it done. Boom.
Boom.
That's right. I boomed them.
Boom.
Boomed them. Only team to get a boom all
That should
year.
be on a shirt.
Estill County at Hazard. Who you got?
Estill County at Hazard, you know. Estill's at my 6, but Hazard's my 1, and they're going to stay there. Hazard.
Give me Hazard.
Hazard.
Yep.
This is going to be a close one. Logan homeschooled at Cordia. We've got to give love. Pick.
Oh, God.
Give me Cordia.
Pick, Kevin.
Okay, let me go on everything. Man. Give me Cordia.
Give me Cordia. Moving on, we've got McGoffin at Paintsville. Pick a team.
Give me McGoffin over Paintsville. I would take McGoffin over Paintsville. I think that this is going to be an upset for them. I'm going into Paintsville's home court.
He's tore up. Okay.
I got to quit laughing. Like I said earlier in the show, I've picked McGoffin all season, and they ain't let me down, and I'm going to rock with them coming into this game.
Give me McGoffin, too. Last one, Letcher Central at Jenkins. Who you got?
Listen,
Revenge game for Coach Lee.
Yeah, man. I picked Jenkins to win that game, and they was doing good all the way up until the third quarter of that game. You had me crying, man. Golly.
All right, pick.
It's home. It's here at Jenkins.
Just pick.
Give me Jenkins over Letcher Central.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, you know, last game, like Sam said, it started off good. It looked like it was going to be a good game. Jenkins let things get, you know.
In their head, really, more than
Yeah, they
anything.
did. You know, going back to Letcher for the first time in a couple of years.
Well, since they moved to the 15th.
Yeah.
That's the last time they played.
So, you know, I think it'll be a better game.
Just pick.
Give me Letcher.
Yeah, give me Jenkins, okay? I'm taking Jenkins.
We done
I'm
got
gonna tell you why.
the Eagles, y'all.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm taking Jenkins, okay? Because Coach Lee, this is a revenge game, right? This is at home. The gym's going to be packed. I think Gavin Gibson, all those guys figure it out. They play as a team. They get it done in a close
Yes,
one.
man.
Guys, with that being said, I do apologize that we got the giggles earlier. Once we get laughing, you know, we've known each other for
we've known
years.
each other way
once
too
we
long. When
once
we
we
see each other laughing.
once we start laughing, it's like a continuous thing. So we
Yeah.
do apologize for like the stop in the show and everything else. But with that being said, next week, speaking of the Jenkins Cavaliers, we will have Coach Winston Lee and some of his players here. You won't want to miss that.
Yes.
And then the week after, we have the legendary show with 5 mystery retired coaches who's going to come back and tell stories from the past, which is going to be a blast.
It
And
is
that
gonna be
rhymed, and I can do it anytime.
Pass from the blast,
That's
baby.
right, baby. Guys, you won't want to miss this. We'll see you next week.
I did say pass from